Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Here Comes a New Challenger, a fighting game podcast. And yes, I will be using this for every single intro. I am your host, I guess, Garrett, and I am joined by three of our returners, which are Paul,
Hello, name's Paul.
Zach. Can you say that again, Zach? It just came out all jarbled.
Are you kidding me? Again with this? Hello. Is it working still?
Yes, it's working.
Yeah, no, it's fine now.
Okay. And James.
Hey.
And we're joined by two new people, or should I say two new challengers, which are,
Hate you.
don't worry about it, are Proteus Troy Blaze Blue the Third Graham Blue Esquire, or Troy.
Yo.
And we're also joined by Blackjack Kuro, or Blackjack.
Hiya.
Well, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, we're going to go and do some, what's it called, house cleaning. And that's just three small things. The first thing is we are no longer on SoundCloud, because SoundCloud is really bad. So when I uploaded the first episode on there, it said I used 56% of our free space. So you can only submit so much on there. And if you want to have unlimited, it's $12 a month, I think. Something like that, right, Blackjack?
Yeah, it's rough.
It's way too much. And we found Anchor, and Anchor is really nice, and it's really easy to upload everything. Everything made sense when I did it. It's just here, put on your image, put in your video, put in your MP3, get your RSS feed, put it on Spotify, boom, done. Very easy, very convenient. If you're looking into doing one, I highly recommend Anchor. Right as of right now, we haven't ran into any issues, but of course I'll talk about them if they end up becoming them.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, we're going to do a quick history lesson, I guess, of sorts, just for people who maybe aren't into fighting games as much as we are. And that means we're going to do a quick 2-minute, 3-minute crash course on the numpad notation. Just because I realized we were using it a lot last time, and some people might be like a little in the dark. Would anybody want to, like, who wants to explain it real quick? Just give a quick overview of it.
Yeah, sure. All right. So, numpad notation essentially just takes a look at the numpad on the right side of your keyboard and has each number associate with one of the 8 directions you can put a joystick. So, like, 5 being neutral, 6 being forward, 4 being backward, and everything in between being, just the 8 other directions. So, like a forward quarter circle, so down, down, forward, forward, it's a bit of a mouthful. So, usually people just say 2, 3, 6. 2, 1, 4 for backwards quarter circles, 6, 2, 3, etc.
Yeah, typically the reason why numpad notation is used typically in like anime fighters and stuff like that is because it's to bridge a language barrier as well. Because quarter circle in Japan would be in like kanji or katakana, and of course quarter circle in Italian would be in Italian, so why not just use numbers since numbers are universal?
Honestly, I didn't even know that. I just saw everyone else doing it, so I started doing it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why. Because like when you look at it like a Japanese person's combo videos, you'll see 236A, and sometimes you might see like Japanese letters A. So that's what I'm assuming why it's used for as well, just as a little language equalizer in sorts. And since ABC is in every fighting game typically with the layouts, but anyway, I digress. And we have a...
Yeah, unless you play Tekken, then they switch.
I mean, yeah, then it gets weird with Tekken and Street Fighter, but generally the numpad notation is what people use. Because that's just getting into semantics at that point. Anyway, we also have one more, what's it called? Thing. If you're listening to us, you'll notice that we have a brand spanking new logo. It looks really cool. Some of my favorite characters are on there. And even one of my favorite Blaze Blue stages, Cathedral, is in the background, which is really cool. Blackjack actually made us this logo, and it is sick as fuck.
Yeah.
So I just
It's real fun.
Yeah, but if it put it on there so you can get some kudos.
Mm.
Also, James, I forgot to ask you whenever I introduced you, but What was the name? What was the dish I got at the Guy Fieri restaurant at Evo?
I don't remember actually. Yeah, the Guy Fieri restaurant at Evo was all just kind of a big haze for me. The only thing I remember was not having enough money to get something, so I just got winged. And like Herschel just kind of falling over in his seat, just kind of having a blissful food coma. So I don't really remember what you got, sorry.
Fuck. I thought you know it now, and I have failed pizza.
Nope, I just have memories of Herschel eating a burger, me ask him if it's good or not, and he's like, yes! That's about it, man.
You mentioning wings gave me like Arc Revo PTSD for a second. I'm trying to remember, who is the would you happen to know who's like the CEO or like president or something like that of Arc System Works?
I don't know actually, because I don't think it's Daisuke or Mori. I think it's like somebody higher up. I think they're just developers.
There was a really awkward thing where I remember we went to like a Wingstop or whatever, and when we were coming back to Arc Revo, we decided to like sit on the sidelines during I want to say the grand finals for BB Tag. And my friend I did stuff, he kind of like was like asking a guy like, hey, can I like go over to the spot or whatever, and there was just kind of like a bunch of like hand motions or whatever, and just walked away. And then after like a little bit of like looking over at who it was, we realized that he just like kind of shooed away the CEO of like Arcs. And it was the most awkward fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm alright.
I remember, because thankfully we didn't have any experiences like that with Daisuke Shibutari or like Wooly, who was also there, but it was just like this unnerving moment of just like, oh, we just kind of like moved that guy away during grand finals just because he wanted to eat hot wings.
Rip. Dude, imagine getting a seat in front, getting a front row seat for top 8 just to eat wings. I thought you were going to talk about, okay, what I hoped you were going to talk about, I forgot what major it was, but someone I follow on Twitter got some of the hottest wings they had a week. And he was just walking around the pools area, like daring people to like eat the wings during their set. And like gave some of the greatest videos ever. Of people like fucking taking a wing, like slowly dying from the spice, sitting back down, then having to play the... So
That's
good,
horrible.
Yeah, wing sauce all of your fingers and sticks.
That's the psychological warfare part of it.
Yeah, dude, fucking Byakuya players out here getting their fingers all lubed up with wing sauce before they do their... That's the strat!
Does it give you any PTSD, Troy, for being a pre-Byakuya player?
Joke's on you, I could never do a Byakuya combo.
That's because you never used the lotion.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Okay, enough of that diversion, because I was hoping you would remember, because I made pizza promise in the other Discord that I would figure out what I had, because I couldn't remember. I remember being a chicken thing, but that's it.
Yeah, you could probably just take a look at the menu and like...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after that, would anybody like to talk about any games you've been playing recently? I definitely want to, but I'm going to wait until the end because it's going to be long as fuck.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, Zach, you're cutting out pretty bad.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Just a bit, yeah.
just a bit glitchy. It's coming back though.
Yeah, hold on.
Is my connection still
Yeah, I
stable?
have no idea why.
Yeah.
Blackjack's fine. It's just yeah, you're getting a little bit of robot voice on Zach.
That's so
Okay.
bizarre.
Yeah, because I couldn't hear anyone for like a solid 10 seconds.
Oof, I really do be like that.
Hey, don't worry about it. As long as Garrett can hear it.
Yeah.
So anybody want to talk about some games?
Oh, you're coming back now.
I thought
Right
you were
now.
going to start talking to
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
No.
what we all
You're
went
coming
saying.
back fine now.
I didn't hear anybody mention me.
No, we thought you were going to. We thought because you were talking that you were going to start.
No, I was just
No.
chuckling.
Huh? Oh, you were like warbling. We thought you were talking to us.
Okay,
No,
I'm gonna-
I was.
time for me to start calling on people. Troy, have you played anything
Alright.
recently that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I just recently finished P5R.
Finished it?
Yeah,
You finished it.
It's been
Yeah.
like a week.
I finished it last week too. It's been a
Fuck, dude.
dude. I was really into
I'm
it.
still in November.
How are you finishing 100-hour JRPG in a week?
I think my final time after my last save came out to be 94 hours. Okay, so like I watched everything. I did kind of like fast forward through some of the beginning scenes. Like Kamoshida's like, man, I still hate him. Kind of the worst.
Oh yeah, he's still an irredeemable asshole.
Yeah, and then you start meeting the new characters. So without going into any spoilers, Kasumi and Maruki. Maruki is precious. He's like new counselor you get after Kamoshida's palace to like help students work through their trauma. And so Ryuji and An get these like counseling sessions, and I love him.
I love it if they actually get some little counseling session as the game goes forward. It's
and
really
he's
nice.
like, I'll give you snacks if you come to like counseling sessions, and they give you like SP or like health, and it's perfect.
That sounds like such a fucking high school thing, dude. Like
It's
getting
great.
snacks when you go to like either that or
Go
to,
to
like
a
a guidance
counsel's
counselor and
office.
shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's
yeah.
like what he is. So if you want to get like the third semester, which is where all the new story takes place, you have to do Kasumi Social Link, Maruki the counselors, and have Akechi's done. And that was like the
Yeah.
big thing too, because I love Akechi, and he actually has a social link this time that you can do.
Yeah, it's
Like you
not
actually have to
locked
like go out and
behind-
interact with him.
It's
Yeah.
not locked behind just regular story progress anymore.
Yeah, we're in the original P5. You see Akechi's social link go up automatically. It's like, woo, something's gonna happen.
I like the like ending for like Akechi's in the original. It's like, man, I hate you. Rank
Yeah.
up.
Rank go up. Yeah.
It's always ranked up at some weird moments. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it actually gave us some time to actually connect and hang out with him properly.
They also start changing, so a lot of the story is still the same. You get Kasumi and you get Maruki, but the palaces are a lot different. How the baton pass works now, every time you pass it off to someone, it has a new UI, but you can also do like a mini social link kind of, just for getting extra bonuses on baton passes. So first one I did was for Yuji. So he gets health up, damage does more when you do baton pass, and he gets a little SP recovery.
Yeah.
Like little
And
things like that.
And it increases the further down the baton pass line that person is as well.
Yeah, so you can do some like crazy things where each person hits a weakness, and you can lead it all the way back up to Joker, where he's gonna have the maxed out baton pass. So the next like move he does isn't gonna cost any HP or SP or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
then-
It's
And if it's all maxed out, it recovers like half the SP, half of his HP, all
Jesus
in one
Christ.
move.
it's busted. Like that's the
It
only
takes
thing.
a lot of planning and
Like-
well coordination, but it's busted when you use it, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's like something that like never happened like usually in the game. Like
It kind of sets you up to do it too in this game. Like it's
Yeah?
my only thing. Yeah. It gives you a lot more scenarios where it's a lot easier to do. And I was playing on
Okay.
hard mode. It did feel pretty easy.
because like the only time I was ever able to get like a 4-string baton pass in the was the only situation was if there's like more than 4 enemies and they each had like a gun weakness or whatever. So I can just do like one shot pass.
I think I was able to get a 4-person baton pass in Kamoshida's palace, like midway point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's as early as I got it.
Kanashiro's. No, not Kanashiro's. Madarame's. Yeah, Madarame's gives you like.
Madarame's.
That's the one
Yeah.
where it's like it just sets you up to constantly be getting one every time.
Nice.
Like the palace bosses have like their extra little gimmick now.
They occasionally also have some extra rooms and gimmicks with the new
Oh yeah, like the
grappling
will.
hook. The will seats, the grappling hook mechanic, it gets all pretty well integrated, honestly.
I ended up like making some pretty OP personas, so New Game Plus, I'm gonna already have like Lucifer for Kamoshida.
Oh,
I didn't even. Did they add new personas?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
to get ready for Shin Megami Tensei 5 when that eventually comes out, which I wanted to so bad. I bought a Switch for
Okay.
it.
Because like you were posting screenshots in the Discord, and I see Satan, and I see Blob with 6 tits, and I'm like, dude,
Satan was in the
what the fuck
original.
is this?
Yeah, no.
Was he?
yeah,
I never saw
Yeah,
him.
he was.
I would remember seeing a demonic being with 6 tits.
Maybe
Would
it's
you
some of
though?
the.
It's like one of the Shin Megami Tensei designs. That sort of scaled
Yeah.
back Persona.
It is a Shin Megami Tensei design.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you go back and look at some of the older those, and there's just, like, tits and cocks everywhere.
Hell yeah, dude.
As it should
You
be.
even get all of the DLC from base Persona 5, so you can run around all of these palaces with fucking Izanagi.
So, quick cue. Without spoiling anything, is Akechi a slightly better character? Would you say now with the new social link?
Yeah, so I already like Takechi, so I'm
'Cause that
probably
was
gonna
the
be
biggest-
biased.
Okay, because that was the biggest issue I think with me and Blackjack, because we talked about Persona 5 recently and us like complaining about it, just saying like we wish Akechi was done a little better.
Yeah, so like I liked him, but that was one of my major complaints, and that's kind of like my big thing. How I feel with P5R. Like I liked the game, but I did have like a lot of I don't know, complaints about it. I thought the story was a bit drawn out. Like it felt like the most rushed 100-hour game ever. And then characters like Akechi just didn't get any screen time. But they definitely fixed that. So without getting as far as like you definitely need to do his social link, and it's so good. It's definitely one of my favorites. And then
He's definitely a
Kasumi's-
lot better with the social links this time.
oh yeah. He gets a lot of his character into that third semester though, so that's when like a lot of like characters who didn't get screen time, like Haru, Akechi, they get a lot more all in that third semester.
Okay, that's good to know,
Haru-
because Haru was another big issue that I had in the game.
Oh yeah,
So-
no,
yeah.
okay. I got the game for my sister recently for her birthday, and I plan on playing through it myself. But I've been just kind of watching her play the first couple chapters just to see the differences. And there is so much like fan service for the people that have already finished through P5. Like you see Haru in the first chapter,
Yeah.
where like it explains the reason why you meet on the roof is because Haru's always there for a gardening club, and so the door is always unlocked for her. And it's like, dude, Fluffy Gardner's getting screen time. Hell yeah.
Yeah, she like makes a little cameo during the student trip when they go to Hawaii. She's like, because you know Makoto had to be one of the faculty members, and then you see because a lot of the seniors had to, so of course that means Haru, and you get to talk with her a little bit right before we do Okumura Palace. Okumura Palace still got awful though.
Oh God, no!
I've heard it
I
got
don't want to
worse.
think of.
Yeah,
I
it's oh my
barely
God.
beat Akumura just a few
That's
days
the
ago.
only hard palace, and it's not. I don't know.
It's not hard in
I
a
could
fun
see-
way.
I could see how some people think it's fun. I guess.
I just don't like the music.
Yeah, no, Okumura isn't a great palace in general.
It's like the weakest like song out of all of them. Like
yeah.
But Kaneshiro having the best one, I think, with Price.
yes.
Yeah.
Price
Yeah.
and Winds of
Absolutely.
Fate, I think, are the
Yeah,
best
those two are fucking great to like listen to on their own. And like there's nothing wrong with the other ones, like Madarame and
Yeah, Madarame does a really good job of like setting up the tone of the palace. I
Mm-hmm.
do.
yeah. Well, I guess mainly for me it's like if you had asked me to tell you what Madarame's theme sounds like, I could not tell you. Like never. But if I listened to it, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good song."
I could instantly recall for you what Futaba's and Kaneshiro sounded like though, because those were two of my favorite palaces.
Yeah,
out of
Futaba's.
that game.
I really like Futaba's, and probably Madarame's is my favorite.
Oh yeah, well, like Futaba's and Kaneshiros have like really recognizable like with like Futaba's with like the da da ba 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 and Kaneshiros with being the stupid like loud soprano sax or whatever that is on top. Yeah.
I've always ended up
But, like-
connecting that song with the character you actually get then more so than the palace owner itself.
Yeah. I just feel like Madarame, like it's a good song. It just doesn't have any like recognizable beats that you can like recall it from.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or
But yeah, overall, I've been really enjoying my time with Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad with some of the changes so far. I haven't even gotten to the new semester myself just yet.
It's
but
so
I'm-
good. How they do the final palace, like, I know you really love Persona 4 Golden, and I do too. I just think how they handled the final boss and that whole palace was perfect. Like the music, perfect. The actual coordination of everything, it's really good, and it's definitely competing in my mind.
I'm gonna have to hold you to those words, because Golden is my favorite Persona game. Period.
It is okay. Overall, Golden is still my favorite. Because P5, it still has that pacing issue, but I don't mind it as much because of everything else it adds.
Okay, that's good to know. At least that it offsets some of the issues that the original game had with some like more like good positives.
Yeah. Also, you aren't forced to sleep almost every other day.
Yeah, I remember hearing about
that's
that.
the big one. That's the
That helps with the pacing a bit myself. A lot.
Yeah. But anybody else want to talk about any Vidya they've been playing recently?
I'm just kind of waiting till everyone else filters out.
All right. James, do you want to say anything?
No, if you put me on the spot, I'm just gonna fucking talk about Minecraft.
No, I was gonna ask. I need to know how the server's doing before I try to retrieve my account.
Yeah, I thought you'd given up on that, man.
No, I said I was still going to. I just had the lab.
You said that a week ago, and then you got in like the Grand Blue lab, and then you got in P5R, and then you went missing. Like, man,
I've been labbing some Grand Blue and some Tekken, and Zoe's about to come out tomorrow. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Apparently beating P5R twice.
Apparently a balance pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it, dude.
Yeah, I've mostly played Doom Eternal and oh, sorry, you were talking about Minecraft stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I was still going. I was just getting started. But yeah, so this has been like the latest arc in the UNT FGC Discord of I got really bored one night, and one of my cousins who I hadn't talked to in like 7 or so years, like DM'd me on Discord of all places. I didn't even know he had my Discord, and he was just like, "Hey, you want to play Minecraft?" And I hadn't played this game in years, so I was like, "Sure, man, I'll join." So I'm in here playing Minecraft, having the time of my life, having a fucking like a nostalgia trip. There's like tears in my eyes every time like the Minecraft music plays. And I'm like, wow, I really want to play this game with some of the dudes from the Discord. So it was like 5 a.m. and I just like went into Google, typed in how to buy a Minecraft server, and saw one was like this one service is offering them half off for April, so I just picked that up for $3. And yeah, I've just been running a Minecraft server with a lot of the people from the UNT fighting game group coming in and out.
It's just a one and done buy for you?
Huh? It's not, no, it's a monthly thing. So since I got a half off at first, it's $3 for this month and $6 a month for like every consecutive. Yeah. And honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like too bad of a price, honestly. Like, even the $6 seems like fine if it's like every few months, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's once a month, so.
Well, even then, 6 isn't that bad. That's like.
Yeah.
No.
That's like less than a Netflix subscription, realistically. And if you're playing a lot of Minecraft and everyone else is, then I would argue it's worth it.
Like, honestly, yeah, I didn't think it'd be too bad, and I'm going to be real here. I didn't expect it to catch on as well as.
Yeah, no, I noticed that, because whenever you said here's a Minecraft server, at least like 4 of our members just immediately joined, I think, right?
No. Well, okay. Well, 4 people jumped on it.
Yeah.
One of them made it in, or 2 of them made it in, Alan and Zach. But Troy just couldn't get in. He wasn't able to retrieve his Minecraft account. And then Sean, fucker, bought the wrong version. So he just bought it again. And when he bought the right version, he joined in, put on a fucking shirtless Childish Gambino skin so I can look at his pixelated nipples, and then left. And then he never came back. He's never joined the Minecraft server again after that first day.
What a fucking power move.
Sure, that's what we'll call it.
I mean, it is a power move. Have you ever wanted to show somebody your pixelated nipples and then just leave and never talk to him ever again?
Yeah, I'm about to DM Sean to get in the fucking Minecraft.
Get in the Minecraft server, Shinji.
He even made his tag in the game, Sean Fraud, and all. Oh my goodness, dude, he's playing me. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. We got like Zach. How many people are in the town right now?
Like I've
Yeah,
said,
like you, me, David, Paul, Matthew, Obi,
I'd say
and
6 or
David.
7 at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty great.
Yeah, it's a pretty
With,
big
like,
numbers, honestly.
About 4 regulars, including me.
Hell yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Alan would be a regular. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
All of y'all have accomplished way more than I have in that server.
Oh no, it's hilarious, dude, because Paul hasn't played Minecraft before. It's pretty obvious, but we've been helping him along but it's like day 1, Paul joins. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go mine. 10 seconds later, I see in the bottom, Paul's been blown up by creepers. Or like Paul had tried swimming in lava, or Paul fell from a high place. No. It's just like, Paul, be careful.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
My favorite part was like when you immediately joined and said, I'm gonna harvest these crops right here, and then you just like punched some like seeds that had just been planted.
He's harvesting, man.
But yeah, it's a learning experience, dude, and I've been having a lot of fun with it.
The learning experience for all of us.
Yeah.
And Paul, you were gonna say something, right, about Doom Eternal?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've mostly played Doom Eternal and Resident Evil 3 when those came out. The rest has sort of been a grab bag of like free games that I've been able to get either through the Humble Monthly stuff or
the other
like
3 games like Pac-Man, I think, recently came out for free.
Yeah, Pac-Man was one. I'm in a Discord server for a developer called Ace that's from Chile, and they just have a section that's free games. So I've just been browsing through that, and it's not their stuff. It's just some guy who always pays attention to things that are going on. So
that's always good. Like their own little Zach steals deals and more.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. Except it's only free stuff. It's never ever anything that costs money.
Damn, Zach, you're getting beat out over here.
Shut up.
Yeah, for context, Zach is our local ultimate coupon, and he just finds like deals and puts them in our Discord.
Dude, I get that reference now.
I rarely ever buy a game at full price. The only one I have was Minecraft.
Yeah, I still can't believe I convinced you to buy a game at full price.
Stop.
Minecraft's always at full price, though. Like, I don't think that thing goes on sale anymore.
It's like cheap, though.
It is cheap, but it's just like they know their worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Nintendo thing, you know, where like people were flipping out. Like I think last month it was like, oh my god, Breath of the Wild is now $40 for a week, and it's like that should be the normal price right now. That game's been out for like 3 years. Jesus Christ.
I've been surprised if that was only the Wii U version or something.
Yeah. I think I was like tempted recently to pick up Fire Emblem. What's the one with Corrin in it? If anyone knows.
Fates.
Yeah, I was tempted. Yeah, I was tempted to pick that up because I'm well aware it got like a god awful translation / localization from Nintendo Treehouse. But I was just like really curious about like Corrin and I think her name's like Carmelia or something like that.
Yeah, Camellia.
Camilla.
Yeah.
Goran's the one with the bare feet, right?
Yes.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah. And flannel and a bunch of stuff because I don't know. I just really really like Corrin, but I think alongside that I wanted to get Mega Man Zero Collection, which is like brand new, of course.
Yeah.
However, I think Fire Emblem's still like $30 or something like that, even though it's been like a couple years.
Nintendo is just
5.
like that.
Yeah, I want to say like released when I was still in high school.
Yeah, that was my senior. It was either my senior year or my junior year. I want to say senior years when it came out, so about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game still goes for like $30-$40 at the moment.
Yeah, same thing with the Pokemon games, I think. So like, it's dumb.
That's full price for a 3DS game. Nintendo's weird about how they try and sell games. Like, I barely have any fighting games on the Switch because of that reason. The only one I really have that I can count as a quote-unquote fighting game is Smash, because it's f***ing Smash on the Switch. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But they make it really hard to try and buy games on their consoles, especially if I already have a version of it on, like, the PlayStation or something.
I'll admit it's good for certain single-player games that you'd like to take with you. Like, I think Metroidvanias do fine on the Switch.
Yeah, no, the Switch is a great little system. The Switch Lite is, I think, I like a lot more, just because the idea of a portable little thing. It's nice. It's nice to play Phoenix Wright games on that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like I do think the Switch does excel for like single player games like RPGs and like Metroidvanias, like you were talking about, Paul. Like,
Yeah.
I legitimately can't see the Switch as a reliable console for fighting games other than Smash because they kind of have to.
It's not even reliable for Smash sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, dude.
Yeah, before my friend I did stuff, ended up getting like a new PS4. He used to play Dragon Ball Fighter Z a bunch on it, and I remember it being like a barren wasteland that he would constantly like complain about.
Yeah, whenever you play fighting games on the Switch, it's kind of a mixed bag if you're gonna get anybody anyway. I think the Switch the Switch version of like BB Tag, it's really hard to find people from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Since one of my friends plays it exclusively on Switch.
That's
And like even when you do find people, remember you're playing on the console that can't have an Ethernet connection without an adapter. So
until you
good luck
spend
with that,
$20
buddy.
on that Ethernet.
Yeah, so like I don't really understand people that will like double dip or triple dip just to get a game on the Switch when like the only like practical value that I can see it having is just being able to lab on the go.
Yeah.
But like I still don't see that warranting like a $40, $60 purchase.
I almost bought Tag because it was dirt cheap like a few weeks ago, but I was like, no, I have it on PS4, which gives me the ability to play it with the majority of my friends, and then I have it on PC, and that gives me the ability to mod and make custom palettes that I want to make.
But you need to buy all the DLC for the thing again, which is already awesome.
That, and if you don't play on pad, then I don't know how you get the lab.
Then you're screwed.
Yeah.
There's no way you can play on the go with a stick. Like,
I think you might be able to, but it'll be very, very hard.
Yeah.
I'm not buying like 2 adapters. It's just a bit too much.
I kind of forgot how we all got like Stockholm syndrome into like buying all the DLC for BB Tag. Like this is okay.
Yeah.
It's like I was thinking about double dipping and getting the game on the Switch. And then I was like, oh man, it's on sale. But then I saw all the DLC not on sale. And I was like adding it all up. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not buying this shit again.
That's why I'm just waiting for the special edition at the moment.
I still think it's better than Tekken's DLC. Like, you buy a copy of Tekken and then you realize there's like $90 worth of DLC for that game.
It always goes on sale though.
Yeah, isn't like a lot of the Tekken DLC just cosmetic?
It's season passes.
Yeah.
A lot of it is cosmetic though. You get like 3
and I guess Tekken Bowl. Yeah, because the first season pass comes with Tekken Bowl.
Yeah, but why would you like? I guess if you can just buy geese and
Noctis for like
$5 each and save yourself the $30 for Tekken Bowl.
But then if you do that with the other season passes, it winds up not being worth it. And it's only worth it for the first one. So it just makes it confusing to buy anyways.
It only really depends whether or not you're going to be using your setup like just on your own for net play. If you're going to be bringing it to locals,
because then you can just buy
if you're just using it for yourself, just piecemeal that. Like all I know is that I bought the game for dirt cheap and when the second I booted it up, it says you have unlocked Eliza bikini costume. Man, this is a pretty good game.
They know what they're doing, all right. Exactly, man. But no, the game always goes for sale for like dirt cheap, so it's fine. I don't mind it.
Yeah, Tekken is one of those games that like, it's one of those fighting games that always goes on sale. Surprisingly enough, like,
yeah,
it's really nice. I do appreciate that a lot because you can tell that they want more people to get into the series, and they're doing that by just making it cheaper and like being like, hey, you can get Noctis for $2, which is cool because that's the only character I play in that game. But still, okay, so that leaves the last 2 boys about the day.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Discord keeps exploding for me, and I'm like not hearing anyone for like solid 10 to 20 seconds sometimes.
Oof.
Rip.
But yeah, has everyone else that wants to go, have they gone, or?
I haven't gone, but I'm saving mine for last because, dang again.
So am I good to go?
Yeah. Because
okay.
I just figured the Danganronpa one discussion is going to be pretty lengthy, so...
Okay, I did have like a couple of things that I wanted to ask. So the first thing I wanted to ask was, Garrett,
Yes.
are you planning to put the podcast on iTunes?
Not right now, just because I don't know how I'm supposed to do that right now, but no.
Yeah, I can walk you through it, because it's been a pain in the ass, because I've been trying to get my podcast on there. And it's been under review for like the past 2 days, I want to say. But yeah, they make it like real obnoxious where you have to like install iTunes and you have to go through this whole thing. But I mean, it's worthwhile because it's got like one of the larger user bases. But you know, the other thing I wanted to say was sorry about my connection and or people being idiots outside during quarantine, because I heard like a bunch of people like yelling and stuff and like playing really loud music, and I tried my best to shut my window and I almost like broke everything around it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. We can get rid of like all the really smaller things with my friend who hopefully will be able to help me again with the audio mixing.
Okay.
And even then, if we get a little bit on the mic, it like come on, we're semi-professional, if even that.
Okay. So I had to jot down notes just so I wouldn't really forget everything. So not necessarily something that I played, but something I watched was I went through all of Soul Eater. So I went through over that, I want to say over the span of like a week or two. And I just immediately decided to follow it with K-On!, which isn't really sort of my type of anime, but I already just got to season 2 and I'm actually like really, really enjoying that.
And that's a slice of life, right, K-On!?
Yeah, and I didn't even know it was 10 years old, which is the weirdest thing to me.
How do you spell that?
Sorry. K-O-N.
Yeah.
I feel like that was inside, like, someone made a fight, like, Dojin fighting game with characters from that.
Okay.
Well, Eternal Fighter Zero, but...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul has encyclopedia knowledge of, like, wait a minute, I know that name, and then he looks it up, and then, yeah, it's a Dojin fighter that he's played before.
Hey, they eventually went on to make the Toho fighters.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's actually kind of a fun game. Just good luck trying to get it to run on a PC nowadays.
Yeah, a lot of Toho stuff seems to be like that since
Oh, it's not even the Toho one, the Eternal Fighter Zero stuff. The Toho stuff runs fine.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was just gonna say as a general thing, like a lot of Toho games are like hard to run on modern sort of software and stuff. I had like a real lengthy thing trying to even run like the 5th game, I want to say. I don't know.
It's anything before the 6th, then you have to like use a PC98 emulator.
That's what it was. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
A nightmare.
Something Scarlet Devil was the place I was told to start with.
Okay, yeah, that's the 6th one.
Okay. Yeah, oh boy, I wrote this out of order. Yeah, K-On!'s been really, really good. Thanks to Garrett, I was like dabbling with like Arcana Heart, just because I think Heart Ino is like a really cute character, and that game has been fucking bonkers, and for whatever reason has like the hardest like arcade final boss I've ever experienced. Like,
I still need to get into Arcana Heart. It looks like a lot of fun, honestly.
yeah, it's real goofy. I like the feel of it though. It's got like a weird sort of system where it's very spacious as far as like how far away you can get on the stage, but it has like a whole sort of like you can like fly into the characters almost like Dragon Ball FighterZ, but it's like really floaty, I guess I would say.
Yeah, actually
like, when
balanced
you do
around neutral. Like you can direct your movement. It's not instantly. You're not invulnerable to projectiles during it, and because you can knock people into the stratosphere, it's mostly used to like chase people around and stuff. And you can cancel certain actions with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stage is just so fucking big, dude.
Yeah, the stages are huge.
Yeah. That's been pretty fun. I only got to like really dabble with Heart because literally just why I wanted to like see what was even up the series.
How do you feel about Heart's personality? Because honestly, I think she's like one of the biggest chaotic dumbasses to ever.
Yeah, basically.
Like, holy shit.
Here's the thing: everybody in that series is a dumbass. Everybody.
So we're under night hours in here too.
Like more so, like even more so somehow.
Like you heard her BB tag English voice lines. Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard
Man,
them.
I feel like I really got to know you there.
That was my first introduction to Heart, and I hate it. I just want to believe that she's something better.
She's just like, love every 10 seconds.
Fun fact, that is the same person who voices 2B.
Hell yeah.
No,
it's Kira Buckland?
Yeah, it's Kira Buckland doing it.
I think I remember that. Ew.
So,
yeah, that's...
Just the disparity between the two quality of voice act of those two voices is staggering.
Yeah, it's some whiplash. But yeah, no, I just pretty much play everyone besides the Persona Cast subbed in that, so I actually didn't know. The only real interaction I've seen is just her with Akatsuki, and she says something like, "Oh, let's win this one with love," and then just goes, "Love." It's just like, what?
I only know Bitatsu.
Yeah, and I just love that. I think like afterwards she's going like a whole spiel. He's like, "Well, I don't really get this, but I guess it works, so I guess I'm fighting with this now."
Christ, it is Kira Buckland.
Yeah, I remember looking that up because like whenever the voice cast was announced for when they were showing off the English voices, I remember being like hearing Seps. I'm like, is that Dan Southworth? And then I look at him like, oh, that's not. It's just some other random dude I don't care about. And then Naoto Kurogane's is Billy Kametz, who does Josuke Higi. What's his last name in part 4?
Higashikata,
right? That, and he also voices English Gallo in Promare.
Hell yeah.
Then besides that, I've been messing around with Bayo a bunch, especially since like Garrett's back on that, and I decided to get it since it was super cheap, and I got it from my boyfriend, and then I decided to pick it up because I really, even though I don't have like the best sort of hardware for it, I just really want to see if I can like get through it and get like the Bayonetta 2 costume, because that's always been like one of those big things with me with Bayonetta 1 is like I really like this. I feel like it's got the tightest sort of pacing overall. Like a lot of the aesthetic stuff is really nice. I fucking despise those QTEs that kill you in one hit. That is still like a massive flaw to me.
I got in so many extra deaths in them because of that, because they just show up. I'm like, oh wait, I was supposed to press a button because I put my controller down like a dumbass, and then it's like, oh no, I was supposed to press X within 5 seconds. All right, never mind. Or like, there's those little areas too where like you need to jump down whenever that lava is coming down after the time warp, your first time warp type thing. I'm like, how was I supposed to know I was supposed to jump down there? And then, or like, there's another, but still, there's like small areas that like you just instantly die, and it's like, all right, try again. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh boy, I think Discord's best enough for me again. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hold on. All right, someone say something.
Hello. Something.
Okay, it's gone. All right, hold on. Assuming I'm audible, I'm gonna leave and come back.
Okay.
Alright, I might have to do that every now and then.
Oh, that's fine. Like I said, semi-professional.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's like I don't necessarily mind that sort of thing in like Resident Evil 4, for example, because at the end of the day, that game doesn't really have rankings, so it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit annoying, like, but you can immediately brush it off. Whereas with Bayonetta, it feels like actually terrible and not rewarding to like get consistent platinums and stuff like that, and then I happen to die because I didn't know that this bridge was collapsing and I'm going the wrong direction. So then I immediately just get a stone.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of stones recently from playing that because of that, because I just get so many deaths, unnecessary deaths. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's not a great system, which, it's cool that they removed that in Bayonetta 2, and I don't know, it's also cool that you have a devil trigger in Bayonetta 2, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a blemish overall. But want to get on PC so I can get the Bayonetta 2 outfit in, because I love that design way more, at least in terms of hair. I think the general outfit's better in Bayonetta 1, and I really like the sort of ribbons that she has that has like the umbral text going on, or the Umbran witch text going on.
Yeah, I really like in general I really like Bayo's design in one a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like more from what I've seen. Does she use a lollipop in 2?
Yeah, that's part of her gimmick, and there's even like a whole thing. There's like a hidden mechanic I recall where if she has a lollipop on screen, it'll be a certain color, and if you press that specific color tied to like one of the face buttons, like for instance, if it's a green lollipop and you hit triangle because that's green, that would get you some sort of like weird bonus, I recall.
Is that only in Bayo 2, right?
Bayo 1 to my knowledge.
Bayo 1
I don't know if it...
Okay.
I don't know if it expanded over to 2, but...
Because I just need to pay attention then. I never knew that. I always just thought it was always a pink lollipop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real goofy. The other thing, though... I mean, I could be wrong, because my memory is, like, real hazy, and, like, my knowledge on Bayonetta isn't the knowledge that I have on Devil May Cry, and nothing is the knowledge that I have on Devil May Cry. But, you know... but I will say, though, I do like Bayonetta 1's design. I've never really felt the lamp haircut that she has going on. I understand it's supposed to be like a witch's hat.
I never got the Marge look.
Marge, yeah. But I will say it's not something that I feel is an outright bad design like Jean's is. I really don't like Sean's design, and I know it's supposed to be like high fashion, but it looked ugly as shit to me. I do not like what she has going on. Bayonetta 2, however, she's godlike. I love like the long hair over one eye. Well, I mean that's a bias I have, but she's also got like the sort of red biker outfit and like the boots that go to her thighs and stuff. It's real good.
Hell yeah! Wait, so Garrett?
Yes.
So can we like commission some fan art where it's like Marge but she's dressed up as like Bayonetta?
Homie, we need to fight the angels.
Nah, never mind. Just make it Bayonetta, but she has like blue hair. It's like, homie. Like, what else does Marge say? That's like that's all in. Just like that, which doesn't really translate to deep voice. It's.
Just imagine like Bayonetta's sexy like alto tones or whatever, but it's Marge.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm just thinking about that thing. Like, okay, do you mean specifically a deep voice or Bayonetta's like manner of speaking when it comes to Marge's quotes?
So like, it's Marge. Okay, no. It's literally just Bayonetta, but she's dressed up as Marge, and she's just like. Living like in the Simpsons universe. Okay,
because I'm just imagining her saying something like, oh god, what's one of her quotes? Like she has like the whole thing where it's like, I got a fever, and the only thing is killing angels. So I'm just imagining instead of that being her taunt, she's like, I'll crump with you, sweetie pie. It's fucking getting to me.
Oh, dude, I was just thinking about that. And it's like, I'll crump with you, sweetie pie, and then she does like her smash top.
Yeah.
Does her little what's that? What's that move called where she does the break dance and the bullets go everywhere?
Yeah. Yeah, so besides Bayonetta, I've been going through Under Night's sort of chronicle mode before I like properly start like getting into it, which I know is a dumb thing, but at the same time I got into Under Night for its aesthetics and for its characters. So I'm like, okay, I just desperately want context to a lot of these people, like Seth and like all them. So I already got through Chaos's thing, but I'm still motivated to keep going. Hold on. Oh, I had a burp for a second. Chaos is definitely still exactly what I wanted out of him, and there's a lot of like cute things that he does. Like he literally pets the big dog, lizard, cat thing as it's described, and he just calls it good boy and stuff. And I really like a lot of quirks like that. And just really interesting seeing his like train of thoughts and like how he sort of goes about things. Like it was just a really endearing thing where he's talking about like he kind of like can comfort himself by viewing everything in like numbers and like going by statistics and stuff. Like that's the exact thing I wanted from this character. So that's just really relieving for me.
Yeah, just happens to be like make a dork.
He's like laughing at your screen. He's like, what a fucking nerd.
He's a massive dork, and I relate to him, and I love him. He's great.
I dig it.
Great. Yeah, I think where I am right now, I'm trying to remember who I'm currently on, because I've gone through, my brain is like rattled, and it's just completely about Chaos and Seth. So, what's the blue-haired girl's name?
Aria. Chasey Wart?
My connection's getting weird again.
Chasey Wart? Posting.
I have like a weird thing where I remember the organization that she's with better than her name itself.
Yeah.
Gone through her thing. I've gone through Chaos's.
So what you're telling me is you're only interested in the twinks.
Oh, what's the character's name? Actually, hold on. Let me leave and come back for a second.
Okay.
Audible now?
No, you've been audible.
Oh, okay, shit. I couldn't hear anyone else.
Yeah, that's probably it though. Like we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Okay, sorry about
But
that.
as I was saying, you're only interested in twinks.
I mean, I like tomboys and stuff too, but they're not really like too visible in this game to my knowledge.
Okay, but what about Gordo?
Gordo's pretty cool.
Gordo's pretty hot.
I do like some more like how would you put it? Like my fucking brain just immediately calls him a Bara man, even though he's not too extreme on that, like so bad guy would be.
So you were telling me we need to get like edited images, but like it's Gordo moves, but he's got big Bara hands.
Yeah.
So like a simulation, but he's just got huge hands reaching to grab.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's hot too. It's just I have my preferences because I'm a feminine guy, so I tend to like feminine guys too. So Chaos especially is like my biggest fucking thing. And Seth is not too far behind him because he's a big ass edgelord, and I like a lot of his stuff. I even have like a jacket that's sort of like Seth's in a way that I had to start wearing.
Okay. Have you ever put on that jacket and then you just like take the collar, pull it up over your mouth, and like I am the Dark Flame?
Okay, I don't say that, but I literally have pictures of me doing that.
In the Discord, there's a picture of him like moving the collar up. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's made to be like that. Because I wanted a jacket that's kind of like Noctis's from the original Versus 13 stuff, where it goes over my mouth.
Every Seth player's got to do it, dude.
But yeah, I went through hers. I went through Chaos's. I went through a couple of ones for what's the laser beam girl?
Batista.
Okay, I keep getting her name and Phonon's mixed up for whatever reason. I went through theirs. I can't remember who I'm starting out. Oh, I know. I did like the little lolly character with like the giant fist.
Yes! Alright, okay. Yeah, no, those are so fucking good, where her entire personality trait is being a dumbass and being like an elementary. So like all of her backgrounds are just like drawn in crayon.
It's great.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. I hate that character, but I love that decision for story mode.
Yeah. So I can't remember the exact order, but I think like Carmen is kind of coming up next. Yeah.
Carmine's is actually pretty high.
You get to see him eat crayons.
God damn it. Yeah, there's him, Gordo, and like someone else. Oh, and Yuzahira, is that her name?
Yeah, Yuzahira.
Yeah.
God, I'm so. Look, I'm fresh. I'm new to this. I don't know
don't worry
a lot
about
of these
it.
names.
Don't worry, I mispronounce a bunch of fighting game names.
I've heard Gordo pronounced as Gordu. Like that's.
Oh no! It's not about mispronunciation. It's just I don't remember how your name is even spelled. So that's my biggest thing with a lot of these characters right now. Like I only know Akatsuki just because of like BB Tag. Like what's who's the other punch guy with like the white hair?
Enkidu.
What? My brain almost called him like Harukudo or something like that.
Yes. My favorite Undernight character, Harukuro, the punch man with white hair.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just been going through that. I started like going back into Skullgirls, and I started messing with Peacock. Cause there's this artist that I follow, and I've been following for like a long ass time. But I've only recently started commissioning him. His name's Captain Curb.
Oh yeah, no, I know about Captain Curb.
Yeah, he's the guy that did my profile picture.
I've been following him for such a long time.
And some NSFW stuff I got with my boyfriends, but whatever. He's done like a lot of Peacock stuff, and that got me like kind of curious again, especially since I kind of got back on the thing of like owning multiple versions of it, because that game's like always on sale for dirt cheap. So I started messing with Peacock, started messing with Philia again, even Valentine, because a lot of stuff started to click with me ever since I started also revisiting Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Because Garrett helped me start emulating that, and it's been really, really fun.
Hell yeah. Marvel 2, baby.
Yeah, so ironically I came back into that because, God, I really love how Jill Valentine looks in that game. And I started messing with Strider and Felicia, who Felicia's kind of been the only character I've had for a long time going through Marvel 2 to Marvel 3.
I actually remember like this one friend who played Marvel 2, and he played Jill in that game, not because he liked fighting games. He doesn't even play fighting games at all anymore. The only reason he played that game is because he told me he just gets a dopamine rush every time she says, "I'm a member of STARS."
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that's literally all he likes about that game. Like, he knows like shit nothing about the rest of it.
Yeah, no, Jill's characterization is like one of my favorite things. That's why on my YouTube channel, I think I want to do a thing soon where I cover Resident Evil 3 Remake, and I have like a big opening, or I shouldn't say like a big opening, I want to make it like super brief, but I'm talking about like how fucking perfect her design is in Resident Evil 1 and MVC 2, and I'm doing like a little in-depth thing, and I'm like, there's like all these like great elements to her, and then now she's Lara Croft.
Oh, I like the new design way more than the original Resident Evil 3 design, though. Like, the look that's like, I'm wearing a scoop and a skirt and a tube top. And it looks like I'm about to go clubbing and got caught in a zombie outbreak.
Oh, well, that's what happened. She was... I
going undercover to catch someone or something like that. Like, I like her new design. Like, you can complain that it's too close to Lara Croft's, but it's like, it's just normal clothes. It's just what a normal person would wear at this
It's just kind of meh. Like, I've just seen that sort of, like, trait too many times. Like, it was cool when, like, Ripley did it in Alien, but I've seen it way too many times, so it's just not my thing. I just like to see a lot of variety. So it's like, if you're gonna redo her design, I want to see something, like, more inventive with it.
I can kind of get that, but, yeah, I don't know. Like, as a remake, and it's someone who played the original, I really like it, so...
Yeah.
It does well for me.
Yeah, I
nothing's really as good as the original design, though, with just her police uniform and the like sort of body armor she's wearing.
The beret and all that.
Well, she has like shoulder pads and stuff too.
Yeah. It's a very how would I put it? It's almost like it's like Japanese tropes sort of layered onto trying to like take on a Western design in a sense.
Yeah, that's a good example of just describing what Resident Evil is in general. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way because like I really like how Claire looks and I really like how Leon looks and like how they kind of revamped the RPD
Leon
outfit.
is so fucking pretty in 2. So pretty.
So I don't know. It just feels weird, and I kind of like the original thing of like, oh, they kind of like caught her on the spot. Although the novel's really goofy way of interpreting it is like, oh, it was like a breezy September, and that's why she decided to wear. I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, no. Definitely for that entire review, I'm just going to be wearing the Resident Evil 1 outfit because that's my thing. I even commissioned myself in the Resident Evil 1 outfit because I love it so much. However, what was my entire tangent going on? MVC 2. Yeah, no, I came back to that just because that characterization of Jill is like my absolute favorite thing, and all the sort of like quirks they have to her, incorporating her Resident Evil 3 dodge mechanic into like that entire thing where she has to dodge the zombies to get them to attack the opponents. What's his name? Tyrant coming in for the super. Little gimmicky things like at the beginning of her fight, she throws away the ink ribbon. Like it's really, really good. I love a lot of that stuff. Their characterization. So I would unironically say MVC2 Jill is my favorite interpretation of Jill out of anything she's been in. Then sort of leading into that, yesterday I actually picked up Resident Evil Remake for like the 4th or 5th time, I want to say, across like all the platforms that I own it for. And that's been real fun. Everything is still sort of clicking. I'm able to speedrun it just about as well as I used to on the GameCube. Very, very impressive looking game, though, for its time. Like, due to the fact that they still retained a lot of those pre-rendered backgrounds that they typically would for, like, a PlayStation 1 game, going onto a GameCube game, it actually looks really fantastic.
Yeah, it looks even good on PS4, too, because I have it on there whenever I bought it, like, forever ago. They'd be like, oh, let's try to get into this. The game still looks really pretty. Like, I mean, it shows its age a little bit, Remake I guess, too? But, like, that game looks good still.
Yeah, and the lead up to Lisa Trevor's cabin especially, like, really just made me have to stop and, like, start taking screenshots because it looked, like, so amazing, especially with, like, the fixed camera angles that they chose.
The Resident Evil remakes have always looked really pretty so far. I'm really happy with how they've looked.
Especially with Leon.
I think it's really an extension of, like, how good they were able to make Resident Evil 7 look. Because like that's still the only Resident Evil game I played, and I still remember playing that one. It was like fucking gorgeous when I wasn't shitting my pants.
You should play RE2 when it goes on sale.
Have you seen the last James, have you seen the last DLC for Resident Evil 7?
No, I have not. I haven't even finished the base game.
The
I only got
concept
like halfway through.
Sorry, I'm just gonna tell you the concept. You play as the brother of like the main villain,
Jack Baker.
Yeah, Jack Baker. So you're just this old man, and like you don't have any weapons or anything. You just run around punching zombies the whole time, and like making makeshift spears because he's this big, muscular old man. And like it just, if the first original game was scary, this just goes back to Resident Evil being ridiculous again.
Yeah,
you have a boss fight with Jack, and you're just like getting in a boxing match with this like big mutant zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RE2 had that too. Like a new RE2 has that too. With the where it's like, hey, we're going back to survival horror. Okay. Also, here's Tofu again. Okay. Also, here's a complete squadron of Tofu. Okay.
Yeah. I always love that about Resident Evil, where the initial thing is like sheer like shock and survival horror and stuff and like management, but then by the end of it, it kind of becomes like a goofy, very very like Western action inspired or Western action movie inspired sort of a romp through, to the point that there's a lot of things in Resident Evil 2 and of course Resident Evil 2 Remake by extension that you can very clearly see is inspired by a lot of films. To me as Mr. X is clearly just a Terminator, and I always love that element about him. Otherwise, I don't know, there's like a lot of other ones too.
I don't know,
like a reference to Jaws, I believe.
Maybe it's because I just don't know like any of the lore for Resident Evil, but when I was playing like for the first part of Biohazard, I was super scared of the dad like chasing you around because I was genuinely afraid of him. And then I look at RE2 and 3 with like Mr. X and Nemesis. I don't know who these guys are. They're just there's big motherfuckers chasing you throughout the game, and that's like.
It's not just big dudes. It is a big dude in a bowler hat.
Hey, I mean, you can knock off that hat though.
Yeah, but why would you? That's mean.
Like when I see the dad in RE7, I'm like scared for my life because not only does he look scary, like the things he says are horrifying, man.
No, they did a good job making that game actually really scary because they wanted to give fans something scary after Resident Evil 6 disappointed on that front.
Yeah,
and
the
it was
scariest
just a complete action movie.
Yeah, the scariest thing about RE3 Remake to me is I'm afraid that Nemesis is gonna walk up, activate X Factor 3, and start wall comboing me for the next 30 seconds.
Well, that's what I wanted to follow up on. I will actually say, and this is kind of like a sad thing, because Nemesis in the original is like one of the scariest fucking characters to me. I would say Jack Baker's characterization and what he does is almost scarier than what Nemesis can do in Resident Evil 3 Remake. Resident Evil 3 Remake. I usually call it Remake. Because like that initial scene, and this is something that's completely optional, the thing where he can just grab you, chop off your leg, and force you to crawl just to like bring it. And
that's a game mechanic. That's not a cutscene.
Optional too.
Yeah, and it's scarier than anything Nemesis actually does in 3 Remake, which made me kind of sad.
And original
he's never.
3. I played the original 3. It's like those games were scary for the time, but like. If you play them now, not really as much.
They still get me.
And they're still not anywhere near as scary as 7. Like, 7 is the top of the series in terms of scares.
I think... I've been replaying Resident Evil, Resident Evil 1 Remake, and I don't know, I'll make a video about it. I'll just say that. I'll make a video about why that game still scares the shit out of me for a lot of contextual stuff and how it plays on the sort of supernatural elements in the same way that Resident Evil 7 does, where it's like, is this supernatural? Is this like a Biohazard thing? Which is what I always enjoyed about Resident Evil 1 is kind of like the mystery element of it, where like the lab thing was an entire surprise by the end. But of course it would become a series staple later. But yeah, Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 Remake, I wish he wasn't such paper, because you could literally toss a grenade at him and you just win. So it just kind of like bummed me out that they didn't like play out that more. because my favorite thing about Nemesis in the original is he could genuinely scare the shit out of me just from me hearing stars and just like hearing his footsteps and hearing him like chase after me, because he was like a proper slasher movie villain. He was essentially like the Jason Voorhees of Resident Evil, and I love that so much about him, and especially for like how much like range he had and his like the stuff he was able to do. But again, in 3 Remake, he just tossed a grenade, and for spoiler reasons I can't go into, he's not really a slasher for most of the game. That's cut like abruptly short and sucks.
Yeah, does sound like it kind of go though.
Can I hear anyone now?
Wait, who just?
Yeah, we haven't been talking.
No one else said anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to like.
Didn't
check
really
that
get a good chance
periodically.
to.
Okay. Yeah, no. In a way, Lisa Trevor in Resident Evil 1 Remake has been scaring me more on like my 6th replay than Nemesis ever has in Remake. So I don't know. It just says a lot about his characterization, and that was like a big letdown. I actually really love Resident Evil Remake. Ironically, for a lot of those changes, but that's something I'll go into in a future video.
Oh yeah.
So then beyond that, the last two sort of things I've been doing is I'm back on the Devil May Cry 4 S-Rank grind. Unlike Devil May Cry 3, which I've platinumed twice over and S-Ranked the shit out of constantly, Devil May Cry 4, I've never really had the time to do so. So I've been doing that with Special Edition, of course, because the vanilla edition of Devil May Cry 4 is like borderline unplayable for me. Just because of like a lot of quality of life stuff isn't there, a lot of the bonus characters and stuff that you get, and Turbo Mode and Legendary Dark Knight are like things that I really, really adore about 4. So I've been running through that. I'm currently on Dante, and Devil May Cry 4 Dante is a character I can never quite wrap my head around. It's always like
the shit out of me when I tried playing 4 like last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't understand how he worked.
Yeah. He's still super good. But I will say, in hindsight looking in, because something that always made me depressed playing Devil May Cry 4 is I could play Nero no problem. Like, of course, I'm going to map Blue Rose to the right trigger, charge that, go through all the things. Like, of course, I have like a lot of the max act timing down, because like, max act is genuinely one of my favorite game mechanics of all time, because it just turns Devil May Cry into a rhythm game in a sense. But even going beyond that, it's like I can handle Nero 100% perfectly fine. I could handle Devil May Cry 3 Dante 100% perfectly fine. Virgil, sort of lady, she's like a cakewalk to play because you just charge the shotgun and then that's just it. Lady, I would say, is on an equal playing field to Nero in a sense. But Dante always had a weird thing for me where I would just be playing him and I would be switching constantly between styles, weapons, combos, everything that I can do. But for most fights, I could barely like muster an at. But I've been looking at like some Donguri footage and I noticed like, oh, even he barely goes beyond the A's and S's. So I think there's like a weird thing where they like cranked it hard for the style meter in that game to make it like intentionally hard as shit to get through. So I've kind of been worrying about that a lot less and just kind of like seeing what I could possibly do with his with how expansive his moveset was in that, and like a lot of the weird sort of gimmicky stuff, like how Yamato was never finished, so it had to be mapped to the D-pad as like one of your styles that you just double tap for. And he's been a lot of fun. Once I just started turning off my brain and started thinking a lot more on my feet, as opposed to Devil May Cry 3, where it's hard style, do as much as I can.
Less picky, more Akatsukiing.
Yeah, sort of. I would say it sort of brings me back to Devil May Cry 1 almost. It's kind of like a nice middle ground between Devil May Cry 1 Dante and Devil May Cry 3 Dante, where a lot of these moves are like super hard to cancel out of, like they kind of lock you in. So I have to play a lot more strategically in a sense. I have to focus my defense more than my offense in this case. And it started to sort of click for the most part. I definitely don't prefer playing him in 4 as much as I do playing him in 3, especially with the Switch version that came out, which I sadly only got to fiddle with for like a second, but that's just gonna make my favorite game of all time even better.
Even favorite?
Even better. Even better. Sorry, my throat is getting like really, really scratchy right now.
Nah, that's what the tea is for, my dude. Heals all wounds, unless you're Garrett.
Wait, what?
Huh? What are you talking about? You're like the main tea hater in the Discord.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right.
I think everyone here likes tea but me.
I'm getting kind of sleepy, so Garrett.
Yeah.
I need to know. We were like labeling all the Garrett Bait characters in Danganronpa 1, and we like brought it down to Byakuya. And you told me like yesterday, or you tweeted it out actually. Yeah, best boy right now is either Byakuya or Leon. So, right after you tweeted that, I like immediately DM'd that tweet to Zach, being like, "Ooh, not for long." So how was that, man?
Oh, okay. I guess we can jump straight into Danganronpa then, real quick.
Okay, yeah. Well, last thing.
All right, go for it.
This is why I wanted to go last, because I'm like, I can ramble about shit for hours. Final Fantasy VII Remake, really fucking good. Game of the year. It's very, very different. I like every single difference in it, and I really like the direction and making me question elements of it that I'm like, wait a minute, does this mean that this is a blank? And I can't say it because that would immediately be a dead giveaway as to what the fuck Remake is. But I'm going to start calling it Final Fantasy VII fucking Reunion at this point, because it's weird and it's interesting.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's something I'm looking for me to look forward to when I eventually end up picking it up.
Yeah, same. Still need to finish Persona 5 Royal first, because I don't want two RPGs at the same time at the moment.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. Anyway, I guess is my turn. I'll skim over the other two, just XCOM and Bayonetta. I already talked about. I don't really go into details of those because we talked about Bayonetta a little bit before. Unlocked Odette, that's a pretty cool weapon with the fucking ice skates. But anyway, me and Potatoes, I finally started playing Danganronpa. I've been hearing about it for a while. I remember seeing it as a kid, and I remember now, I believe Blackjack Nishi and some other friends in the other Discord have been talking about it for a while. I'm like, I'll get it when it's on sale. And then after watching his video and the podcast, it turns out it is on sale for right now. $20 for both for 1 and 2, and I started playing 1. And I am like 4 hours in and finished the first trial, and Jesus Christ, this game. Jesus fucking Christ of this game.
All right, okay. So I want you to take me through your like mental turmoil, like through the
first day and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess like, okay, you know what? I think would be more interesting, just like your mental, like how your mental process once you saw the dead body.
Okay. The first time you see it, I'm like, oh god, because like you just see Sayaka stabbed with a knife, and you see all the blood. I'm like, oh, that's kind of dark. And that's just kind of it. It's like kind of tame, I guess. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. She was kind of cool, I guess. And then you go to the gymnasium, everything's happening, and then you see Junko step on Monokuma. And then she gets impaled by like 70 spears.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene.
Holy
I forgot
fucking shit.
It's so horrible.
I remember, because like while I'm playing Danganronpa, I'm like DMing Blackjack the entire time when something happens. And I'm pretty sure I DM'd him the second that happened. I'm like, yeah, I'm going on a walk right now because this is too much.
Yeah, no, dude. After like the Junko gets like impaled scene, that was like so fucking like out there. Oh.
Like holy shit. What sucks is that I was actually starting to do stuff with her. I got the rank up with her in the social things. Because I'm like, oh, I have mineral water. This chart says she likes mineral water. I'll just give it to her. But now she's dead. That's cool.
Yeah. No.
There's like end game stuff where you can connect
after
with all of the
school.
players.
Yeah, Blackjack told me about like the after school thing where you can just do that.
Yeah, school mode. But yeah, no. Sorry if I didn't make that clear enough that Danganronpa is like very dark at times. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the darkest thing out there.
Oh yeah, no, but like just the contrast from the usual gameplay.
Yeah. I only got to talk about it in the spoiler section of my video, which thankfully Garrett did dodge. But yeah, Trial 2, it made me cry and almost stop playing because that shit fucked me really bad more than anything else in the series.
Yeah, Trial 2 fucking hits hard, man.
Trial 1 started, and Investigation is just whatever. It's basic point and click stuff, not that bad. I kind of think it's interesting how whenever you're walking around, you hear like a little dungeon crawler thing, though I wish there was a quick turn, but that's just one small nitpick. Music is really good. I really like the Investigation music.
Yeah, Masafumi Takada.
Yeah.
So good, dude.
The music is always
jazz
been really
break
good.
going on while you're trying to find out who killed who. The trial starts, and the entire time, the beginning of it, I'm like, alright, this is whatever. Well, just trying to prove your innocence, all this stuff, all the crazy, like, bullet time, bullshit shenanigans, it's crazy. And then I start putting it together that eventually that she planned this. That Sayaka planned all of this to pin it on me.
Yeah, how'd you feel?
I hate her now.
Yeah, after like 3 days of
I remember talking to Blackjack about that. I'm like, I hate her now. I thought she was... I didn't care much about her originally because I thought she was just bland and not interesting, and now I hate her. Like, I hate the fact that she would manipulate me and then try to pin a murder on me. But yeah, all that stuff happens, and then we get to the end of it when Kyoko is like, hey, you should flip it 180 degrees. I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? And I start doing it, and the second I did that, I DM'd Blackjack. God fucking damn it. Let me see exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. So,
I got it.
Why did you
God
like
fucking
Leon?
damn it. I just figured out who the killer is in the trial right now. Why did it have to be one of the cool ones?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because, like, honestly, I just didn't like Leon because of his goatee. No, that's literally
I really
it.
liked Leon's design. That's what appealed to me. And also him being like, I don't want to be a baseball star anymore. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But then he gets murdered because self-defense.
Oh, yeah. But that entire thing was so shit. How, like...
Horrible.
It's all Sayaka's fault in the end, but, like...
Yeah, but he dies because of it.
Yeah.
I mean...
fucked, dude.
Multiple people are wrong.
But yeah, Leon, I never really had, like, strong feelings towards him. I was like, okay, it's Beautiful Joe. He's pretty cool. Ironically, his death, because it's, like, one of the harshest ones in Danganronpa 1, at least, that really, like, kind of shook me up a bit. But I only really started caring about him when I got to properly do his sort of social link during school. But I was like, oh, you're actually like really into punk. Oh, you're name dropping like The Clash and Sex Pistols. You're cool. Fuck.
Okay, I never really did that.
I felt horrible for just kind of ignoring him during the first chapter.
Fuck, dude. Like now the best boys and girls are dropped down to fucking just Garrett bait now. With Byakuya.
How do you think about Byakuya so far, actually?
I like him.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't see him. I haven't ran into him a whole lot yet, so of course I haven't ran into him as the complete douchebag. He reminds me of Edgeworth a lot. Like that level of smugness, you know?
Yeah, I mentioned on my podcast, or actually, my friend Grim mentioned it, but then I kind of like capped off of it. My favorite thing about him, and this is why I enjoy playing Danganronpa 1 dubbed, is that you'll just be talking to him, and like sort of the thing that he'll like bark out at you is just stop talking. I love just how smarmy he is about all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that dude speaks to me in many levels with his design, personality, because for some reason I like smug characters, so...
So you'd say he's your Chaos equivalent, or?
No. I like him a lot. I don't know if I have a Chaos equivalent. Wait, what? What are you saying, James?
I was just gonna say, like, he's literally like a hair color change and slight haircut away from being Narukami.
Oh fuck, you're right. God damn it.
Actually, what is Garrett's Chaos equivalent?
Do I have one?
What do you mean
by
Chaos
character that just speaks to him?
Because I obsess over Chaos. Like, every single day I talk about Chaos at least twice on the server and fucking gush about him.
This is definitely definitely a Promare character. I haven't watched it yet.
Leo?
Like Leo. Yeah, it is Leo.
Oh yeah, Leophodia. That was mine for a while. Yeah, it was Leophodia.
Yeah, because I remember leaving our first promare showing, and the first thing I said to Zach and Troy is, "I want to top Leo."
Oh yeah,
I didn't believe you for a second.
Leo was the reason I watched that movie. I'm a massive Studio Trigger and Gainax fan, but I didn't really have interest till I got hard confirmation that Leo was male. And then I heard him in Japanese. I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" Yeah, although he is amazing in English too, because they got Giant Bosch. But yeah, no, everything about his mannerisms, "Oh, you're like me when I'm so fucking pissed off and pouty and shit." I'm like, "Oh, I love." God, that character fucking resonates with me so much.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh god.
Okay, I think that was long enough. I think that was an hour-ish.
I guess so. No.
Yeah, I guess then we can move on to the meat and potatoes, which is us just kind of talking about how we got into fighting games, because I think that'll be a really good because this is just a casual kind of day. We're not going to go into any game-specific stuff, so I thought it would be just nice for us to all talk about why we got into fighting games and how. Zach, would you like to go first?
I don't know. Mine was a bit of a weirder start, mainly because I'm probably the newest person here. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just have to make sure with this mic. Mine was a bit of a weirder start. I think I ended up becoming part of the fighting game, well, the FGC in general, with BB Tag as my main big game, because from what I've heard, it's a very beginner-friendly game, which honestly makes a bit of sense. It's a lot simpler than the other games like Under Night and Blaze Blue and all that. But I don't know. I mainly got dragged in because I recognized the franchises of Persona and Ruby. But the more I got into Cross Tag, I was like, shit, I actually really like the Blaze Blue and Under Night characters more than the franchises I actually recognized. Besides Adachi. I have to. What?
Adachi, the savior of BB Tag.
Yeah.
Why is UNT fucking cursed with 4 Adachi players?
Because he's
Blessed?
fun. He's got a lot of dirt.
Excuse you.
Don't worry about it.
I was a very big fan of what characters I was able to see in Cross Tag, and that was the main reason I got interested in the other franchises, just checking out some of the characters, because I got really intrigued with some of the story bits I was able to pick up, and hell, I still really am. Even if fighting game story modes are not always the best from what I've been able to learn now.
Mm.
Like Under Nights.
Yeah, they're a mixed bag. I had that discussion with Blackjack a while ago because he was asking me about it, what I thought about fighting game story modes.
Yeah, because I'm considering making a video on it.
I just love the character designs for a lot of these characters, and I've just been trying to learn more, find more games that I find intriguing, because, God, I love pretty-looking games, and these characters are pretty as fuck.
Hell yeah. Anybody want to go next?
Flip a coin.
Okay, Troy. The coin has been flipped.
Bro, did you flip it that fast?
Yes.
Alright.
Wait, hold on. Okay, I'll flip a coin. Give me a sec. Troy, call it in the air.
Oh, Tails.
Tails. All right.
Hell yeah. Wait, shit.
Wait, does that mean that he goes?
Yeah.
He goes.
Okay. I've kind of always been casually into fighting games. I was definitely one of the only ones in my friend group that was into it. You go over and you either play MK or Call of Duty. So if we ever came over to my house, it was just MK, and it was just us mashing. The first game I actually got into was probably Injustice, and then a lot of my other buddies I met through Discord showed me BB Tag, and that's the one I started taking a lot seriously for intro to anime games. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I really like the characters, and then I was like, oh hey, Ruby, I know that. And I was like, I'm gonna play Blake Yang, and those were some dark times.
Ruby again.
Yep, I never played another Ruby character after that.
When you first came to UNT and we were like playing BB tag at the FGC table at the library. I remember I was just fucking around with anyone that came in, and I remember I hit you with like 5 or so just full screen jump up Tager command grab supers.
Horrible. I think I saw some of those myself.
I was like still trying to convince myself. I was like, yeah, I know how to play Blake.
And then you like had your fucking resurgence and actually started trying to get. And I was like, oh no.
No, yeah, I think that's kind of a part of it. I'm just competitive by nature. So
yeah, and that's fucking great, dude.
So fighting games kind of just like encourage that for me. Because then, I realized like, oh man, Under Night character seems so cool. I want to learn this game. I'm terrible at Under Night. Like, I'm probably one of the worst, but I still think the characters are sick and I like the game.
Yeah. Honestly, like, fighting games really just embody that mindset of, like, you can get better if you put in the effort and time.
Right,
like, seeing you and a lot of the new people, like, getting better, placing at locals and doing this shit, dude, it makes me so fucking happy seeing that all the time.
Hell yeah. Like, yeah, I definitely, it's really good just, when I came to like UNT and fighting game in general, it wasn't just anime games. Like, BB Tag is really popular because of the simplicity of it. But we have Tekken players, like Corey, and offering to like help me get into that, and some of my other Discord buddies trying to get me into that. And it just kind of like broadens all the different fighting games, like perks of each. And I love them all so far. I definitely have a taste towards anime fighters. Like my first other big game was Soul Cow, and I barely played that, not because I don't like it, it's just, man, like, I want to learn all these other games now.
Yeah, that's always a great thing that I love.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, for a bunch of games. Who wants to go next? Because I'm kind of want to go last, because mine's a little bit of a big one.
Yeah. Yes, I can go next.
Hey, Paul, you want to talk about Guilty Gear 2?
Well, give me a bit. There's some lead up into it. So yeah, basically what got me into fighting games was like I moved to a new school right as I got into high school, freshman year. Actually, no, it was I was still in middle school, but like 7th grade or so. And I didn't know anyone at this school, and I had a hard time meeting people. This one guy invited me over to play Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Soul Calibur. So went and did that with him. And he eventually, he loved drawing and eventually went to college as an art student and graduated with that. But yeah, basically he was my friend that got me into fighting games, and he really loved character designs. So, I would just always play fighting games with him and my brother, and, sometimes a few other guys. So we just sort of had, a small community that enjoyed fighting games. And, yeah, me and his favorite games back in the past were Guilty Gear. He really liked Axel, and I really liked Faust, and my brother always played Zato / Eddie. So it was always a lot of fun. Eventually, he and my brother sort of fell out of fighting games, but I always just sort of just stuck with them because at that point I just really enjoyed playing them, and they became my favorite genre over time. That's basically it. From there on, I sort of prefer anime games because, again, Guilty Gear sort of embodied the sort of pinnacle of what I enjoyed at that moment. This was before BlazBlue or any of the other games came out. And Marvel was, I just didn't understand Marvel, and I didn't even follow the FGC at that point. That wasn't anything that had been popularized or heard of at the time. So that game was cool, but it's just Guilty Gear just clicked easier because it's somewhere between the difficulty or the stiffness of Street Fighter and the absolute insanity that Marvel was. So yeah, that's basically it for me. Then eventually I met Khalif, the president before Garrett, and got with the UNT FGC. And then eventually these guys came in, and that's sort of the rest of the story where they can pick up.
Alrighty.
Hell yeah. Let's go, community.
Yeah. Community is great.
Yep.
Jake? You want to
go? Sure, I guess. But yeah, when I first got into fighting games, I actually had really no idea what fighting games were. I just saw Skullgirls on sale, and I thought the art was super duper pretty, so I bought it. And like I remember I picked up Peacock at first just because I thought she looked. I'm gonna be honest here. It took me like I want to say a good 5 years to realize how horny the art in Skullgirls is.
I didn't realize that.
I never noticed.
How did you not notice?
I just thought it looked badass.
Like
literally,
Valentine doing thing where she pulls the thing out of her boobs.
Okay,
and she's like,
except Valentine. Valentine I knew was like big titty character, but like every other character, it just kind of like fell under like my radar. Like Parasol's panty shots, I didn't see that. I do not see it.
Even Beowulf.
Okay.
Beowulf wasn't even in the game at that time.
Oh?
Beowulf was not in the game, and Big Band still had like some sketches for some of the animation frames. But like, I ended up trying to get good at that game, and I live in Flower Mound, Texas, which is pretty much like the white mom suburbia capital of the world. So there's really not many people here for me to play fighting games with. I had one guy in my high school broadcasting club. That didn't go well. He played Big Band, and we played one night in front of a bunch of friends. He did Heavy Brass at full screen. I teleported through it and then did Argus and killed him, and he cried.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in front of like 5 of our friends. I tried giving him like a comforting like hug or handshake, and he's like, "Don't touch me." So yeah, that kind of turned me off to Skullgirls for a little bit. And so you don't know how fucking glad I was when I came to UNT. I went to the media library, and I see an open setup in the middle of the room, 2 dudes playing Skullgirls. I'm like, "Yo, Skullgirls?" I plug in my controller. I'm fucking ready, dude. And that has just been like my general introduction to pretty much any other like fighting game we play here. For anyone here that knows me, I pretty much play anything that I'm given, except for like Tekken. So I guess like this has been like something that I've had to come to terms with in the past like couple months, that I do genuinely enjoy every fighting game that I've played, but I just love hot garbage being shoved in my mouth. I love Skullgirls. I love BB Tag. I love these stupid ass hot garbage games where whenever I go in netplay, I'm like more likely to get someone who's gonna grab me by the dick and say, "Hold my fucking mix," rather than like honest footsies. And I love that. And that's some of the interactions I try to look for in fighting.
hell yeah.
So
Are you still going?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say how like I am like really thankful for the community we have and the locals I've been able to find.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna touch on that with mine. I guess I can just go ahead and go then, because mine's not super long, but I can speed it up a little bit. Basically, I started playing fighting games casually in middle school with BlazBlue Calamity Trigger because I saw the intro. I'm like, oh, this looks sick. I saw a top 10 that's like Bane Shishigami was in it. It was top 10 heroes, I think. I'm like, oh shit, he looks cool. And then I saw a review where IGN described Arakune as a badass shy guy. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want this game. I want to play a shy guy.
Badass shy guy?
Yeah, because of the mask.
I mean,
and then that's why I bought it. So I bought the game specifically for Bang and Arakune, which if anybody knows me, in advance, I do not play those characters anymore. I don't touch them. They do not exist to me.
I don't think anybody wants to touch Arakune.
Okay, wait. Just stepping back for a sec. Is that guy? Is he like the blob man with a mask?
Yeah. That's
Yep.
that's the dude that I have on my PS4 that I showed, Mr. Book Spiders.
Okay, so Shy Guy as in Mario Shy Guy. I was confused.
Yeah, no worries. Shy Guy as in like Shy Guy as a noun.
We aren't talking SCPs or anything like that.
Not yet. Anyway, so that happened. But how I got into fighting games, as I am now like super into them, it's kind of a personal story, I guess, because I was new to the school. I just went straight to college. I wanted to do community college for 1 year so I can get used to it, but my parents were like, no, gotta start now. I'm like, okay, cool. It's 3.5 hours away from where I am. So I'm far away from home. I knew nobody because all my friends were going to the colleges that were nearby. So it hit me really, really hard. All the changes just happening. So the first few days on my first week, I cried in the shower in the morning because I just couldn't take all the changes happening. So I was very, very anxious the entire time. And when first flight week started, it's dumb. This is a stupid thing. You have to constantly be forced to go to stuff that you don't want to go to. And one of the things was Game On at the Media Library, which is a library where you can check out games and play them, which is really cool. I don't think a lot of universities do that, and I love that ours did. But anyway, I go in there, and the first two things I see is two TVs, one on the left, one on the right. One is Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator, and one is King of Fighters 14. KOF 14 just came out, and I think Xrd was out for a little bit at that point. And I remember walking over to it and be like, oh, is this Guilty Gear? Because I have known about it. I've known about Sign since it was announced. And I believe Paul was there, and either he invited me to play or I asked him if I could play. And I dart around the characters and I immediately pick Raven, and I start playing. I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. So I guess technically Raven is Garrett Bate. But yeah, I really, really enjoy it. And then I run into the president of the club at the time. And he gives me the card for the club saying, hey, we meet up every Saturday. And so I start going there, and I start realizing these fighting games are fun. And I am now in love with them because fighting games kind of helped me get out of a really, really, really bad place that if I didn't get out of, I'm pretty sure I would have left and dropped out of college immediately instead of graduating in a few weeks and also being the president of the fighting game club. So yeah, fighting games mean a lot to me, emotionally too. They're cool as fuck, but there's a lot of emotional baggage to them too.
Damn.
Yeah, and I believe that leaves you, Blackjack.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and dumb this down, I suppose, because I already feel like I've rambled so goddamn much already. So if I go in depth, I'd rather just do it in a video format at some point. But essentially, as a child, I kind of bounced between a bunch of stuff, whether it be things that my brother would show me or things that I would sort of see in a local pizzeria or an arcade or something like that. So a lot of stuff that I played early on was just Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Soul Calibur, stuff like that. But fighting games didn't really start getting closer onto my radar and stuff until I want to say late middle school, early high school or something like that. Where that's where I was starting to get a lot more experimental and breaking out of my shell. I had just gotten out of a massive lame ass emo phase and stuff like that, and I just kind of felt like I kind of need to stop putting myself away from people, and I got to start opening up to things and really experimenting and seeing what I like. So I kind of just went through a lot of Super Best Friend stuff, a lot of the Friday Night Fisticuffs, and kind of filtering through what I wanted to try out. And I want to say the earliest stuff I would kind of fiddle with is Skullgirls, as that kind of had a good sort of tutorial for me to sort of start breaking through. And I think that's even when I got my Mayflash fight stick that I still use for PC and stuff. And I think aside from that, it was also Third Strike was the other really big one. Just because I really loved a lot of the music and the sprite art and a lot of the stuff that I was seeing there, and I thought that would be a good starting point, but clearly in hindsight now I see that was one of the worst decisions I could have made. But I still have a lot of fun playing Akuma, so it's perfectly fine. Oh yeah, Maximilian Dude was also a massive factor for that, but it was definitely on again, off again. I would never really commit to anything. Oh, what's up?
I was gonna say, what do you think Third Strike makes a bad start for fighting game?
I'm sorry. Discord. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Why do you think Third Strike's a bad start for fighting games? I can see kind of where you're coming from, where the skill ceiling for that game is stupidly high, but just as a starter game, it's just a pretty basic Street Fighter.
I suppose, but I was just kind of going through it, and I was kind of a dumbass, and I didn't really understand how things like parries really function. Even as a massive Devil May Cry fan, it's I didn't use Royal Guard back then. I just thought it was dumb. Why don't I just do more damage? So being met with the arcade mode, because this is also where I was like massive shy, and I didn't even start playing games online until recently because I was too scared of them. I would just kind of like go through the arcade mode, and the instant I was like fighting characters like Gil and such, it just kind of like made me feel, how would I put it? It was back in a time where if I would lose, I would take it as like a genuine slight and like insecurity against myself, which is something I want to like lean towards later. But yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't really gelling well, and a lot of people were sort of saying like, why are you starting with Third Strike? Especially like whenever I did briefly try out the online, it's like, yeah, of course anyone that's on there is like an absolute killer. So it's like, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was heavily on again, off again, like repeatedly. And I would say since that was early high school, that would have been 2015, 2016, lead it back to 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that must have been like a 3 to 4 year hiatus of me just absolutely playing like no fighting games whatsoever, just because I got like so focused on a lot of my creative projects and all this other sort of stuff and trying to like bleed into things like JRPGs and whatnot. But I want to say what really started making things click again was when my friend and I did stuff, brought me over to Arc Revo. And this is going to sound really odd given this is like super recent, like this was November of last year. But he brought me over and it sort of like sparked back like the passion that I sort of had for the genre when I was younger. And just a lot of things sort of happening, like being with the crowd, singing Smell of the Game and stuff like that. Meeting Wooly, who got me like pretty deep in early on and just was like a massive inspiration to me in general. And really starting to like filter in and like try all these like different games, because I just came there purely for the Strive beta. I was like, okay, like this is my friend and I'm kind of anxious as hell because I don't do crowds well, but I figure I might as well just go. And it ended up leading me into like a massive surge of like, I kind of want to go back to this. I kind of want to see like what I can do now that I'm older and stuff, and I like to think more mature to a certain capacity. And I don't know, just the sort of feel of it, and even seeing things like BB Tag for the first time and like Under Night and like all this sort of stuff. So coming back to it now, and I still definitely wouldn't consider myself like a professional to any means. I am heavily on the casual status. It's been a genre that's started leaching into my life a bit more, bit by bit, for a multitude of reasons. For one, growing up, I had massive anger issues, which I certainly hope it doesn't show when I'm like talking to Garrett or like anyone on my server, but like, I was an absolute like shit kid to a lot of people, and it was very, very easy to like set me off, and sadly that does come out sometimes. So fighting games, I think it was like fun in the sense of it allows me to sort of like test my patience a lot more, and it definitely have much more of like a hold that L mentality when it comes to that.
Yeah, but then you see the Dragon Ball Fighters clip where it's the Android 16 intro of him saying, let the anger flow through you.
Yeah. Oh boy, my throat. Ugh. I do voice work, and still I'm able to get like this scratchy after so long. Yeah, so it's definitely trying to like try my patience and like kind of get more discipline out of myself and just stop being so like irritable and like all that. So even beyond like the aesthetics and the music and a lot of that appealing to me, I think the biggest thing that's appealing to me, been appealing to me for fighting games recently is just it kind of feels like an uphill climb, and that's really appealing to me because I've been playing Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, like all this sort of like character action stuff for years, and I would consider it like my main sort of genre. But the problem is, I feel like for a lot of those games, I've sort of hit the skill ceiling. I mean, of course, I'm not like Donguri. I'm not like going around like using inertia and all that sort of stuff. But in the general sense of, I'm not feeling the same sort of like kick to it. It's not the same sort of like difficulty that I really love. And well, I guess it sort of bleeds into that Devil May Cry thing as well, because I'm gonna be real with you, a lot of aesthetic stuff in Devil May Cry 5, especially the realism, really just put me off with that game. So I'm like, oh, okay, Nero's kind of a Chad now. Okay, I'm gonna go look at Chaos, because Chaos is kind of more of what I wanted from Nero. But even beyond that, it's just the major thing of I see the challenge, and it's kind of what I want to tackle, because I want that sort of feeling. I want to learn these sort of like complex things and push myself like to my absolute limits and stuff. It's just the most appealing thing to me, and it's kind of like why I try and stray away from like a lot of simplistic stuff. I for one, especially with the Devil May Cry stuff, I never pick sort of like the simple sort of modes. I never want to pick something like simple in Marvel vs. Capcom or what's it called in Guilty Gear? Is it like
Stylish.
Rockin' or something like that?
Stylish.
Is it just stylish? Okay.
It lowers your defense.
Yeah. So just auto combos and one button specials.
Oh boy, Discord was cutting out again. Yeah, no, just the massive thing of it is, it really is just a lot of the stylistic stuff, and more so than anything, it's a personal, emotional thing that I'm trying to get over. And it's just, I want that sense of urgency and challenge. And I'm typically someone who never really plays things online. I'm terrified of crowds and talking to people, and I've only been talking to people online for like a year, I want to say, ever since I like made a Discord account and such. So really, it's a challenge emotionally. It's just something I really love to look at, and it's something that I really want to feed into, and I want to get better, and I just want to see myself be actually like able to do like the cool shit that I love seeing. And yeah, I guess overall that's sort of my case with it, generally speaking.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you guys have all better stories than I did.
I mean, you're just starting out. That's not that, of course, like, your story's not going to be, like, more elaborate, I guess, because, like, you're like, hey, I saw a BB tag and I like it. Sometimes that's all you need is just have a game that you like.
I know.
Because I know there's some other people, too, that I know that are like that, too, who just, so, like, this game's cool, I'm going to play it. I think one of my friends is like the BlazBlue series. That's at my house. That's home with me. That's like super into Arxis titles, and it's just because he thinks they look cool, and he likes playing them.
That's fair, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. You really don't need to have any sort of like motive or backstory behind you to like play fighting games or be part of the FGC.
Yeah,
like if you play the game, if you put your quarter up, you're part of the club.
Oh.
Free entry except for a quarter.
Exactly, dude.
And you can even do one of those quarters where you put like the loop around it, like the little string, and you put the quarter in and then you take it out with the string.
Oh no, that's like the equivalent of like losing a match and then saying, I don't even play it. I don't even play this game. You put your quarter up on like the cabinet, then you rip it back out. You know what? I don't even play this.
This isn't my character.
I want moral victory.
I really want to just play and have fun, but here you are comboing me. But yeah, no, you just need to. That's just something that I think is really important in fighting games in general. It's just you just need to be able to like them and want to play them. If you want to get better, more power to you. If you want to just keep playing casually, then that's fine too. It doesn't matter as long as you want to play punch game.
Go online, play Kaikisuke, and only mash Greed Sever and Silly Slide. More power to you.
Big man. I was hoping I had a podcast episode about a personal attack.
That wasn't a personal attack.
It definitely felt like one.
Man,
It hurts my Greed Sever brain. Which I still miss.
You say that like that isn't every Kai player.
I mean, fair.
I mean, if you relate to it, then...
Yeah, but I would never mash out, do Greed Sever and block strings and wake up grab. Who would do such a thing?
That just reminds me of like that one GC Yoshi video where literally all he did was fucking Greed Sever, DP, and Ride the Lightning for the entire match.
In one, yeah.
Motherfucker did Ride the Lightning, RC, Ride the Lightning, and after they blocked it, he was mashing DP and they missed.
That's how you're supposed to play Kai, man. You're not supposed to have a brain.
We go, dude.
You have to let your horny take over when you play him.
No. You're allowed 3 horny moments a day. All right, we've talked about this.
Did I have any before this one?
Mentioned Leo.
Pre-talk show counts, bud.
It does.
I'm pretty sure all that Leo talk. I'm pretty sure like all 3 passes got consumed when you said you wanted to top Leo.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So it's just one massive pass.
You can be tickets to ride that one, man.
Oh no, that's DLC.
Man, I really do be Leophobia like that sometimes. I love it.
Hi. Well, anything else you want to bring up?
We were running relatively late, so if you guys have anything like small you guys want to bring up and talk about, we totally can. But I don't know how you guys are doing, like, tiredness wise.
I mean, I'm wide awake. I'm just matted in sweat
Me?
because I've been
Sleeping?
rambling so much.
Impossible.
Because if you guys are still raring to go, we can go for another, like, we can do another, like, 20 minutes maybe and just talk about, like, stuff that we think is sick as fuck and what we really want in a fighting game. Because, like,
I'm down for
to
that.
talk for a little bit more. There's a
game.
friend that was trying to hit me up as well after this, so whenever this ends, I might see if he's still up. But other than that, not much going on here.
okay, let's talk for a little bit then. Do a little small thing, and then we'll wrap it up.
You guys ever play like any fighting game character where they just say one phrase that just resonates with you so much that you got to say it with them every time they do?
Yeah,
Narukami.
yeah.
I do that every time I do anything with Narukami, dude.
Narukami and Adachi, specifically
Yes.
with Narukami, it's his the cross slash line when he's like, finish them off.
It's that one, but for me, it's Zeodyne, like, strike true. It's so good.
I love Narukami.
I should probably be ashamed to admit this, but Lil every time they say woot woot, I also say woot woot.
No, get out of here. Respectable, but also get out of here.
I mean, he's great. Like he's making me slowly talk like him.
I'm waiting for the next meeting where you come in just talking like straight up surfer, dude.
There's that, and
Like,
then there's
bro, just block the mix-up.
No, objectively, the best one is still Adachi.
Adachi, yes, with cross slash.
So damn
You
cool.
think you're so damn cool, but it's all bullshit.
So good. It's the best.
Okay, that one is pretty good and all, but you guys are forgetting the king. Say goodbye to your friend.
That's really good. But there's but with like Adachi, I feel like that one like resonates so hard with me. Just granted Adachi, but like I can say it with somebody.
I know.
I mean, yeah, shut up. I'll fight you. Because like even whenever because I can bring it up like anywhere in the Blackjack Discord, and then his boyfriend Ishii and me will both be going, "It's all bullshit," because that line is that's the best line in the game.
It is so good.
Real big on that.
That
Also,
and
if
then,
Azuna ever makes it back into a fighting game, he's only in Guilty Gear 2, which I guess that kind of counts, but
Yeah, that counts.
yeah, he's got some good lines.
Yeah, give me one of them.
Round start, he's just like, oh, I don't care whether I win or lose, and then just like slings a bottle over his shoulder.
I gotcha. So like,
just like whenever you have to sprint somewhere, he's like, oh, I guess I'll hurry. Like he's just really laid back.
I gotcha.
Oh yeah. Another really good one is from Kanji. And I'm Kanji freaking Tatsumi.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that one.
Yeah.
Which
I feel that so
that
much.
just makes me miss Kanji. I miss
Like-
Kanji.
I love that one. Like, I'm Kanji freaking Tatsumi and Say Goodbye to Your Friends are probably like some of my favorites.
Crush him to dust.
I love any sort of voice line that that's like associated with an anti-air. Or like specifically ones where like the character will say like "get down" or "sit down." I fucking love those.
So this is where the "get the fuck out of here" comes from.
Yeah, because I hate like upbackers in like pretty much any fighting. So when I walk up with someone in like Merkava, like 4B and Uni or 5A and BB tag, and he says "get down," it's so fucking satisfying.
God, I hate that Scenario so much.
Or like when he does his resonance suplex super, he says "straight down" whenever he like. Oh, it's so. Or not a fighting game at all, but Roadhog in Overwatch, when you like hook someone in the air and, and he just says "sit down," drags them forward to him, and he fucking shits in their.
That I always wondered, like, man, why has he played Roadhog? I see it now. I understand.
The sit down archetype.
Yes, the get out of the air archetype. But yeah, just like every one of those voice lines, I just love singing them along with the like. Even when they don't say the line, I'll be like, "get to," after like counter hit anti-airing someone.
With it's just being able to have that with your character, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that every once in a while with Jin, where I'll just say like, whenever sometimes I'll just be like, "Know your place, scum." I love Jin too. Jin's cool.
Reminds me of Potemkin with his Heavenly Potemkin Buster. Just completely anti-air anyone that's jumping in at you. He just shouts, "Heavenly Potemkin Buster!" Except he does it over like the whole duration of the animation.
Yeah, it's just like voice lines like that, where whenever you hear them, it just sends like a fucking rush of dopamine to your brain.
God, fighting games are fucking cool.
I love fighting games.
I guess one question that's relatively quick, and I think will be fun to talk about. What's something that you want the most out of a fighting game? Like out of character design, art direction, music, gameplay, offline capabilities. Like, what's the one thing that you always want to look for in a fighting game, and you're really happy when you find it?
Literally aesthetic.
So for me,
Aesthetic,
it's music.
Yeah, music and character design is the main thing that's dragged me into BlazBlue and everything in general.
I was about to say that, like fucking BlazBlue, because BlazBlue, when I started playing, awakened something in me of I fucking love Daisuke Ishiwatari. He is my favorite composer that I've heard so of far. Fighting games, probably, if not ever. I love him.
He's great.
And then later, I learned that he did Guilty Gear. Because I didn't know Guilty Gear existed until a little bit after I started playing BlazBlue.
Yeah, they lost the rights as soon as they were able to make BlazBlue, so it took them a long time to get them back.
Yeah, so like whenever I got Sharp Reload and started looking into it, I'm like, oh, he did the music for this game. Oh, he did everything for this game, and then he put two and two together. I'm like, oh, that's sick as fuck. Yeah, I love BlazBlue.
He even voiced Soul Bad Guy for a while.
Yeah, like I fucking love like Daisuke Ishiwatari. Like if there's good music in a fighting game, I'm gonna be more likely to play it and jam out to it. Because like Lust, Sin, Gluttony, Fang, Rebellion, all these fantastic BlazBlue songs just have me. I'm constantly listening to them, and I'm still listening to them like to this day because they're so fucking good. And that's what I want in a fighting game: is good music.
If the soundtrack does not make me want to buy a physical CD and just jam out to it wherever I go, it ain't worth it.
So when are we getting to the intro to the podcast where Garrett just does karaoke over the Hakumen theme?
you say that as if I won't do it.
I know, I'm saying that because I know you'll do it.
Just make him do the karaoke over Must Die.
I mean, Must Die, you don't know what he's saying, though. That kind of ruins
not
it.
Even Daisuke knows what he's saying.
Hakumen theme? My name is Hakumen,
a soldier resurrected to a violent, devastated world. They go Hakumen, shatter any barrier that stands
do it all.
Like, the lyrics are so garbage.
Evil souls.
I need to listen to that track because by the way you're singing it, it just sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon superhero.
Hakumen is a superhero, dude. Hakumen's a fucking dork.
This is a time-traveling superhero.
Time-traveling superhero who happens to be Jin.
I don't need to know that last part.
Cartoon protagonist.
Does that mean like two people that killed Hakumen for?
I mean, I still play Hakumen, sadly. He's just cool, but I think about him being Jin every once in a while.
That's what gets
it makes
me.
me doubt myself.
Yeah, that's the part that I choose to forget.
If you just don't think about it and you put Hakumen in Japanese, you don't have to know. Just be like, hey, I don't know BlazBlue lore. I got this game for Father's Day. I was the old samurai man.
Doesn't Noel become Hakumen?
No, Tsubaki.
Tsubaki, okay.
Tsubaki does Noel, becomes Noel.
Who I'm just gonna picture in the Hakumen suit. Don't worry about it.
I mean, that's fine. Tsubaki is best girl in BlazBlue, so, it all works out.
Damn, bruh.
What?
You're really trying to start that with me?
I mean, there aren't that many good girls in BlazBlue, not gonna lie.
Man, we got someone. Not?
They either suck, are yanderes, or are 6, physically.
Okay. 9?
No,
Selka.
Not 9's pretty alright, but I don't like 9. Playing against 9 has ruined anything that character has ever done for me.
What do you mean? You're just playing simple math.
You don't like the rock of opening people up?
Dude, especially when it's 10 frames
It's
in
a best
CF.
starter. It's one of her fucking best starters that it's long. Blah.
I like how it's just sort of like a normal move or a normal attack of hers inside cross tag. He doesn't even have to set up spells for it anymore.
Yeah.
It's also not as good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they made it not as good because
it's not as fast because it's her JC.
Yeah, and you can't do it on the ground, which is a big thing.
Yeah, so you have
but
to
at the
TK
same
it.
time, she gets her unblockable set up so often in that game.
Yeah, because it's 2 bar. You can just activate it.
Yeah, we're pretty much anytime I play against a 9, I'm forced to play Hakumen just so I can be no, I don't want to block, and go through all their Oki shit.
So, what else do you guys look for in a fighting game?
Under Night was purple. I like purple. So that's
You generally need at least, like I said, aesthetic and music are big ones. All the other stuff is still important. If the game is just too stiff or there's not enough options for my character, then that can sort of ruin something for me.
It's more movement for me.
Yeah. Well, I liked how I said stiff. You need movement options. I can
Honestly,
sort of
a mix
learn
of
to make do
everything.
with certain things, but for me personally, in terms of the aesthetic, I always need a goofy character that's somewhat laid back or something like that. And I can make exceptions to that rule if I find someone that I just happen to like for other reasons, but it's not as often.
Gotta find the Faust of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, a mix and balance between all of these elements is honestly really important, because as much as I like aesthetic and music, if the game doesn't end up playing well, it's iffy.
Yeah, and if it's not
sometimes-
super popular, then netcode's important to even have it be alive. Otherwise, you're just stuck with single player.
I really like Strife, and I think it's gorgeous. But it just feels stiff right now, and I know it's still just in a beta stage. But going from Xrd, who I played Million with 3 air dashes, and then having my air dashes be a little platform I'm jumping from, it's a bit iffy for me. Just feels.
I hear ya.
Maybe she might not get the does she have the delay too?
Yeah,
I'm not
she
sure.
still has-
Okay, because I know
she still has
Faust
that in her
doesn't for
trailer.
some reason. He's the only character that doesn't have that delay.
Yeah, no, you can see it in her trailer. She has
Okay.
the delay dash too.
But to be fair, I play very privileged characters
Yeah,
when it comes to
fucking-
movement.
Fucking Lancelot man over here.
Let's go.
Fucking the 500th Uedachi on that BB tag net play.
Yep. Let's go. Just raw JC. Don't worry, it's safe now because Ezio active switch.
Don't
I'm
worry
plus
about it.
even. I'm plus even.
The weird thing is that Circle wasn't even in the initial few trailers, so that's something they added over.
Yeah, they added
Right.
after Arc Revo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it's not even for sure gonna be in the game for the final version, but it's not just that. It's just the game feels weird, but also I only played the beta and the beta wasn't great.
It was alright.
So yeah, I'm still like, keeping open mind, still gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just the movement's a big deal for me.
Yeah, that's fair. What about you, Blackjack? What'd you look for in a Punch game?
It does. Yeah, sorry.
Basically everything Under Night is aesthetically. Again, that game really just sold me from minute one. But even before that, there was like Guilty Gear, and I really loved how that was pushing sort of what a game can sort of look like, and pushing like a lot of boundaries with that. So aesthetic is a big one. Music is another massive one, especially as someone who really loves Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Skullgirls, Guilty Gear, Under Night, etc. That's always a pretty consistent thing. So yeah, I guess part of it too is I just really like Pretty Boys, and I felt a lot of games weren't really delivering on that, but obviously I went from Nero in DMC4 straight to Chaos, so that really solved a lot of problems for me. And that is the shorthand of it.
Oh yeah, gotta find those cute boys, man. Gotta get the squad.
Yeah. And yeah, obviously Guilty Gear, a lot of its aesthetic stuff really, really appeals to me. A lot of the stuff in Strive, even with the UI not being complete, has been really inspiring me with a lot of the graphic design work that I do, and a lot of stuff I kind of want to like start pushing in future videos and all that. It's really, really cool. That's all.
Makes sense.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, visuals are like, I mean, I don't think they're the most important thing, but I do think the aesthetic is important. Like
yeah.
Because like NetherRealm games are technically speaking gorgeous, but they just don't pop.
Yeah, like
a lot of very dark
catch your
colors.
eye,
Yeah.
but then they lose you so quickly
Yeah, but then
once
you
you
have
see the
something
games in
like
action.
then you have something like the new Samurai Showdown, which graphically isn't very great. It looks pretty decent.
like it.
I mean, yeah, no, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm going
Yeah,
to
the
the
art direction is good, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
the
very
game
high
itself
resolution or
looks
whatever.
pretty okay, but the art
It's like
direction of
cel-shaded.
it, the aesthetics, the cell shading, the making it look like
Okay,
clay and all this other stuff, not clay, but you know what I mean, making it look like all these paintings, it looks gorgeous, it looks great. But like,
Yeah.
if they kept
Then
it
they-
like KOF 14, then it's going to be harder to get into it, because KOF 14 both has a issue with the presentation and also the aesthetics of it, of just being alright.
I mean, KO14 is just kind of ugly, not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder to get into the game just because it doesn't
Yeah.
look as gorgeous as, again, KOF 13.
Yeah, because I like to play Vice in that game, and seeing like the downgrade from her badass like skull explosion whenever you suplex them into the ground to like a shitty like 3D skull model they got off of like HalloweenEffects.com. I was disappointed, and I actually kind of wanted to get into KOF 14, but just seeing that really disappointed me. And instead, I just played KOF 13.
Yeah, that's a bummer because KOF 14 also has some great characters in it. Because one, Rock Howard is back from, which
Yeah, the
makes me happy.
systems in it aren't
'cause
too
I love
bad
him.
either.
And so
And
is
King of
Kukri.
Dinosaurs.
And Kukri's in that game. And Kukri's sick as fuck, and I love him.
I do think it's funny. Kukuri's whole team was the design team being like, we're tired of rendering faces. So they got the girl with the mask, and okay, except for Sylvie Paula.
Yeah, and that one was just, hey, let's turn a Japanese pop sensation into a fighting game character.
Yeah. Except I think she's also a joke character.
Yeah,
SNK's joke characters, they always treat them badly, so
There's
like,
a lot of joke characters in 14 actually, because there's her, and then there's like Shanae's team with the buff, the grandpa, and then the sleepy guy.
and then there's that the Black Ninja.
Yeah.
The
I can't
weeaboo
remember
ninja.
what's the name of the sleepy boy? Do you remember?
I forget, Miet-kun or something like that, or Miet-kun or something.
I think Kuhn's at the end of it. Yeah, I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure he's a joke character too, since he's sleeping the entire time.
Yeah.
Dude, you can find
His
joke
team member is supposed
characters.
to be like the protagonist of that game. The like Chinese dude with the
Yeah.
jacket over
That guy's
his.
sick as fuck too. I love his design.
You guys talking about joke characters, you're not even talking about Xan SMH.
Oh yeah, Xanadu.
I
Yeah,
fucking hate that
they
character.
all suck too. Like they're all just like
Yeah.
bottom of the bottom tier.
I hate Xanadu with every fiber of my being. Looking at that man's face makes me just shrivel up inside.
Yeah, and he's got Chang and Choi on his team for some reason.
Choi.
I like Chang and Choi.
Chang and Choi are cool, but Xanadu, no, get him out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't we have like a super long we had a super long running joke I remember as Xanadu for like the longest time, for like a month straight, I'm pretty sure. because of that one poverty setup we did, where we just kind of played KOF 14 the whole day.
Pretty much, yeah. Or 13, you mean?
No, it was 14.
I remember like we played KOF like 13 like all day. Like wait, 13's like the super like
Pretty one,
the
yeah.
spreader one, yeah.
14 was,
13's
it was whenever
beautiful.
we're outside and we were like in the cold.
Oh yeah, that.
And we just kind of we joked about Xanadu the entire time. I guess that's another good question too, along this idea of fighting games. Like, what do you guys think about joke characters?
I think they're fine. I usually like them, but like they have to at least be functional.
Yeah, I really like them, and that's just because one of my favorite characters is Robo-Kai.
Yeah, Robo-Kai's great.
The epitome of a joke character, and I have told everyone this, and I'm going to continue to say it. I said it in the last podcast, and I'll say it again. If he gets announced for Strive, I am dropping Kai and maining him.
I mean, like, I think the idea of the joke character is kind of like going away in more recent fighting games. And even when they do have one, they've like a lot of new fighting games have made it a point that even if there is like a joke character, someone that's like really silly or has a nonsensical moveset, that they're not going to be like a joke like in match. They're going to be like functional characters like Captain Ginyu, like
Lowain, I guess.
Yeah, or like Lowain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lowain will be considered a joke character just because of the characters. Like, I'd argue that because of their personalities and like some of their stuff is pretty silly, like with the Robo Catalina.
I'd be fine with it. It's just how they get implemented. They always tend to be super gimmicky, and I've just never been a fan of that. Like, it's fine to like have like some gimmicks, but characters that are like made to only have gimmicks just feels weird.
Yes, no gimmicks. I like to play fusies.
No,
Like
like
the Adachi player.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, a character that has gimmicks, that's cool. Like, yeah, that's healthy for a game. But like a character that only has gimmicks, like that's how I feel like the state of Lowain is. Like, his doesn't seem like he has good buns, but the character has all these gimmicky setups and a super that is just Mario Party.
I mean, Lowain is in his own sort of weird category with that. The thing is, like, you're talking to like a Faust main here, and everyone's like complained at me about my items at some point.
Yeah, I don't consider Faust a joke character though. Like, he has gimmicks, but I feel like he has a solid game plan too.
Yeah,
His
I feel
buttons are
like
fine.
His buttons are fine, and then
Yeah.
like, once you get them in Block Dungeon or Knockdown, you can start throwing out shit.
Yeah, I feel
No,
like
I can-
Faust
And then once you
straddles
see
the
your
line.
shit, you're like, all right, meteors, now I can go ham. Bomb, I gotta be careful.
No, yeah, I consider
Banana,
Faust like
I gotta
a
go in there.
legitimate,
Keep them from
like,
getting that
solid
build. So,
character. Yeah.
I consider him like, I guess maybe a halfway point, between joke character and character, because he's just a silly boy.
Yeah. But he feels solid. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really consider him to be like a joker or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think mostly I'm okay with joke characters. Whenever they're done, like to be bad on purpose, is whenever I'm not super into them. Like with Omen in Killer Instinct, where his fireballs are random.
yeah, that's pretty silly.
I hate that so much. Like, why would you give somebody a fireball that's like, yeah, it might go up, it might go down, you don't know.
Find out.
I mean, he has enough movement options that he can play around it, but,
Yeah, but, like,
I just kind of see where your point is with that.
Yeah, I just
and he
hate
gets
that.
3 Shadow Meter.
It's dumb.
And I can see the issue with Lowain. I even have some issues with Lowain where I'm like, why do I have a reversal that just, like, if I do it on any person's normal, they can just use a special move?
That
It
they can do
destroys
that.
me.
They can just spot dodge it. It's like, why?
But, like, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
I
there's
only
no
have one
point.
attack move, so, like, my wall combo is, like, that into Oki. And yeah, it's good Oki, but...
It's
I
just
guess he does a shit ton of chip damage for some reason, so, like, the opponent can't sleep on me either.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, I knock them down, and if they just let me sit there on the other side of the screen, I'll just start eating and getting health and meter back. So they have to bully me, and then I'm being bullied if they actually can pull it off.
It's like you want to beat him before he either gets you down to even half health or gets you Yggdrasil. Because
Yeah,
you're gonna take chip, like, unless you're a god at dodging that stuff, and even online makes it hard, but you're gonna take the chip.
and there's like certain setups where like if they're not spot dodging and jumping a certain way,
Yeah.
then you can draw out a projectile, and then that projectile puts them in block stun, and then the unblockable goes off.
Yeah. Like, he has some, like, actual steps with that. It's just, man, it does so much.
And
It
once
just
I'm
feels-
comboed into it, I think, according
yeah.
to my opponent. So,
it will on counter hit. Lava into the lightning does like 40%.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
It's done. That's why I don't like that super.
That's honestly like one of the only things like keeping me from getting really into that. Because don't get me wrong, I love playing Grand Blue like every once in a while, but that's just like a knowledge check that I'm too lazy to learn. And
Yeah, I
just
can
like
feel that.
really don't want to put in the efforts to learning the timings for those spot dodge.
You don't want to play the Mario Party rhythm game thing.
Yes, exactly.
And then the other super can chip you out quite a bit. But
You
there's
know,
ways
you
to like
know,
spot
I-
dodge
yeah.
every single hit.
I really like
Or
his
just like
human
super jump
pyramid.
around and Annoying can't get to you in his human pyramid.
I think it's better than Yggdrasil if they're in the corner. Just
Yeah,
because what are
yeah.
you gonna do? Yeah.
My friend actually learned a timing where if like I'm mashing on square his fastest attack, he can throw in a jab in between every one of the attacks.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so there's weird little things you can do. Granted, I think he was doing that, and if you're focusing too hard on that, then I just throw an overhead in there and he gets hit, and then I can combo into it and it gets damage. So you have to be careful.
Okay, I think there
Like, I
is...
can never tell how real it is, and that bugs me. It doesn't seem like it is. But that's also the character, like, is this real?
Okay.
No.
So, I think we can finish it off with one more question. One more really, like, small one that I think everyone can get in on. And that is, like, of joke characters, what do you guys think about guest characters?
I think they're good for bringing people in.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that depending on their implementation, they can actually work really well.
Yoda! Caliber!
Yoda and Darth Vader and...
I was thinking of the Ruby
Also, they
and
just
Blaze,
kind of hype us up.
but yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Force
We
Unleashed,
also
man.
want to talk about Link in Soul Calibur.
That's not
Link was
interesting,
great in
though.
Soul Calibur, though. He was amazing.
He fit really well, honestly. There's one thing I do really like them because they help me get into games that I normally wouldn't have. Because I'm gonna be real here, not a single Tekken character interests me, like at all.
Not
Damn.
even Kuma?
No,
Damn.
not a
And
single one.
Noctis.
But yeah, but because Noctis got announced, I'm like, I'm gonna pick up Tekken. And now I play Noctis. Because I feel like he looked cool, even though I didn't play Final Fantasy 15 at the time. I've only played 2 hours of that game.
Yeah, I've kind of
I
had
really
that same experience, but like trying to get into Melty after playing Eltnum and Undernet, which is kind of
Nice.
funny because I was playing Melty for a little bit, and I remembered this conversation I had with, and I was like, I don't know, man, Melty's kind of weird. I don't really know which character I want to play in here, and like it looked like he was about to have an aneurysm right in front of me, just like, you play Eltnum.
Don't worry
It's like,
about
I don't know, dude, it's just different.
It is different. Like, the Elderman Unio is like a mixture of all the moons and some of evil Elderman stuff.
And evil stuff like Ricochet.
Yeah. No, there's Ricochet and Melty Blood.
There is? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
one of the moons has the Ricochet attack.
That was fun.
But, like, they have that instead of the regular gunshot.
it. Time to lab Melty Blood.
You have to choose. You don't want to choose. There's some really fun whip loops with her on the
One
half
day.
moon.
One day I will get good. I might just pick up a top tier and play Kohaku, honestly.
Yeah. Kahaku's great.
Honestly.
Kahaku's great. I played
Like,
Nero.
I thought she was
even,
cool
even
already.
Princess Moon is great. What's her name?
Like Archetype Earth?
Archetype Earth.
Yeah. Big
She has
flowy princess girl.
Yeah. She has flight and like the stupid like the largest buttons that everything combos out of.
Honestly, I just don't like looking at her.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you think
Soul
about
Calibur.
guest characters, Blackjack?
I guess I don't know. I guess just because of like what sort of stuff I grew up with, as far as like Marvel vs. Capcom, fighting game by extension, but like Smash Brothers Melee, Brawl, etc., and even things that are kind of out there like Kingdom Hearts. I've always just kind of like found it really like aesthetically pleasing to see like a character in like a different art style or crossing over to something else. So it's just something I've always sort of loved. Take for instance when on my server you posted that sort of like mock-up someone made of like they just had the arts of Cloud Strife, and then they had like the Guilty Gear logo. Yeah, that like sent like a shockwave of excitement out of me, and I just had to immediately remind myself, okay, this isn't real though. This isn't like an actual thing that's happening. But just the feeling I got from it just said a lot, and especially after finding out that Cloud was supposed to be in Soul Calibur 2, but a copyright issue or something sort of happened, so they just had to put Heihachi in as the PlayStation rep last minute. It's something that I feel strongly about, and it's something that I always get like really excited for, as you know, it's really is like that goofy fucking it's like that Red Letter Media bit where it's like, oh, I clapped when I saw it, like I instantly recognized the fucking thing. But that is the extent of it. Just, my fucking primate brain goes wild the instant I see a character I recognize.
Dude, I fucking feel that. I had like a similar experience when Guilty Gear Strive first got announced. Someone drew Jotaro in like the style of Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah,
and I like, oh, dude, I just like when I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you said, monkey in brain start clapping.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I really like guest characters. Like, Soul Calibur's been really interesting.
They do a really good job with their guest characters, honestly. Yeah. Especially with 6. With, like, I mean, to be fair, I wanted to play Geralt the second he was announced. I didn't play Witcher 3 at that point.
To be fair, with 2B.
Yeah, I hate you.
Yeah, I was also racing to make that joke.
But yeah, 2B is great.
Tekken's the polarizing one, because...
Yeah, because there's a lot of great ones.
Akuma, and then we also have Negan, from Walking Dead.
Okay, but like...
John Negan from The Walking Dead.
What's weird is that he's actually the main reason I got interested in Tekken. Negan! Oh, fucking thing. It's so bizarre, but... I don't know, it's really entertaining to see characters like that just kind of show up, even if it is, on paper, very confusing.
Or you don't think, you're like, I didn't think of that before. Like, you didn't think of the things like mixing. And now they are.
Like, I used to watch a lot of The Walking Dead, so I was familiar with Negan. I did not want him to be in the same game as Noctis Final Fantasy.
John Noctis Final Fantasy 15 versus 13.
I actually I fucking love Tekken for that, because that's actually one thing I don't like about guest characters, is just that, like, whenever you look at guest characters in fighting games, it's usually pretty cut and dry what they do. They just take, like, whatever's the pro tag from that IP and put them in, which is fine and all, but, like, you take a look at a game like Smash, and it's just, like, a game completely filled with pro tags. So when you go to Tekken 7, and half the guest characters are, like, the villains of their respective IPs...
Okay, I actually kind of like that.
It's so cool! Like... Yeah. You have Geese, you have Akuma, you have fucking, like you said, Negan, like all like the main antagonists of their like shows and video games, and I love that ideology going into there.
I actually really like that too. Like, it's all well and good to have protagonists in games like this, but if you can manage to get like other characters who might fit the aesthetic of that video game franchise better, it's so good to see how they fit in.
Yeah, especially for something cel-shaded like Strive, for example. But the additional thing I want to add, which is something that Nishi, my boyfriend, mentioned recently, and I do actually resonate with this, ironically, with Tekken. His main thing, and like why he started playing BB Tag, is he used to be like a massive Ruby fan, but he fucking hates Ruby now, but he still likes the character, so he's like, thank God they're in something I like now.
Isn't that like...
That's everybody.
Every Ruby fan? I have never met a Ruby fan that wasn't exactly like... That's like, hey, I like Ruby. Not anymore, though, but actually I do.
Yeah, so in a similar case where it's like, I absolutely love Noctis as like a character and like design, 15 was like a massive disappointment, and it really just... It's a situation where it's not a bad game, but it's like, I'm not going to play it anytime soon. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to take screenshots, but it's like, actually playing it isn't fun, which I'm also really happy that Final Fantasy VII Remake is doing 15 better than 15, because the gameplay is so fucking good on like 15. And yeah, that's just basically my point. It's just, I'm so happy that Noctis is in Tekken, so I can just main him and just have him in a great game.
Maybe Kingdom Hearts can give us the Final Fantasy Versus 13 we wanted.
Yeah.
Dude, can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4 Fragmented versus 13 Prologue Hallway Union Key
Final
Strive
mix.
Rev 2
2.8.
Final mix remix.
Yeah, you gotta add that in. Final Mix Remix Alpha Plus Extreme Championship
Dark
Deluxe Edition.
XXR.
Plus R, yeah, I gotta add the plus R in there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, I guess characters are cool. I think they can definitely work, and I'm hoping, and I can definitely see where James is coming from, where like they need to be more unique, which is what I'm hoping for the ARMS rep for Smash, is that they pick like a unique character in that game, like the Mummy, or the DNA, or the Ninja.
It's probably going to be a poster character.
Yeah, I don't want it to be, but it probably will. Yeah.
I don't want it either, but
Because like
probably.
with the Three Houses rep, I didn't want it to be Byleth. I'm being honest. I wanted it to be Claude.
Yeah.
One of the 3 house leaders would have been really cool, I will admit.
Yeah, I'm not even like I'm not someone who played Three Houses, but even I like really wanted Dimitri at the very least. So it's like the instant I saw Byleth, I just kind of let out like a really irritated sigh.
Yeah, I guess it's like one of those situations where thinking about it, you're like, I mean, of course, they wouldn't have done it any other way, but still, you want to hope.
Yeah, but even then, though, another great thing is that guest characters are also like the greatest thing of hype. Because I'm pretty sure the loudest I've screamed next to Strive being announced, because I'm pretty sure I screamed the entire time during that trailer.
Was it the Adachi
the
one?
Adachi trailer, yeah, but I don't know does Adachi count as a guest character though?
I mean, like every character in that game is a guest character.
Yeah, it's a crossover
game.
Yeah, because like I guess. Wait, what did I scream harder for, Adachi or Joker?
Oh, yeah, same here. I was actually going to say that Joker in Persona 5, I was like screaming for like a solid 10 seconds.
You screamed harder for Joker.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because for us, we're watching the Game Awards going like, monkey, whenever the Odyssey, the trailer showed up, and we just did monkey the entire time. And it then cut to the end of it, we're like, alright, this kind of sucked, I guess. And then you see E10 Plus, and you see like all the Persona 5, remember the paraphernalia around it, like all the art style. I'm like, hold on guys, this might not be it. It's a spin-off. It's Q2. It has to be something else. It can't be this. It's not gonna be it.
It's for the dancing
entire time
games.
I'm telling them like, no, it's fine. It's not it. It's not it. It's not gonna be it. There's no way. And then the fucking letter turns, and you see the logo, and I immediately start screaming as loud as I can.
Trailers are always so amazing to watch.
Like, holy fuck, that trailer is so good. And it's because I didn't know anything going in. It wasn't like, oh, we posted it on YouTube. Here you go.
You didn't know the game. You didn't know what the hell it was going to lead into. You just knew, oh, Joker Persona.
Yeah, man, it's... Oh, God, that... I remember because like when it was getting close to the end of it, me, James, and our friend Austin were like grabbing our hands. We're all holding hands as hard as we can. Like bracing for impact. And then the reveal happened and we all screamed super loud.
Yeah, wait. Hey, Troy, I ever told you my viewpoint from all of this?
No.
All right, so that day I was actually filming for one of my food journalism projects, and I had done a 2-pound like cheeseburger challenge like right before that. Was it 2 pounds or 4 pounds? I don't remember.
God.
Either way, I failed. And so imagine you're me. Your stomach is like uncomfortably full. You're in like a meat coma, slowly losing consciousness in a chair. You have a splitting headache, and then suddenly Garrett starts screaming as loud as he can, like 2 feet next to you. I felt like I was gonna die for like a solid 5 minutes of that.
Listen, man. Joker.
Garrett's hype cannot be satisfied.
Persona.
I can't imagine him being more excited than what he was like during Adachi.
Well, that was also a good one.
Eh.
Dude, I love that reveal though, because like I didn't know about it.
No, it was good. You were like so disappointed when you saw. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's just Elizabeth.
I've told you about that story, right, Blackjack?
Which story?
About Dachi reveal?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, cool. Because everyone here knows about it because they're all there. But I was working that day and I was going home and I was calling Brandon, I think, one of our friends. I'm like, hey, so I'm walking back to the club meeting. Did the reveal go alright? They're like, yeah, we're watching the gameplay right now. Just tell us when you're here and we'll go ahead and bring it back. I'm like, okay, cool. Is there any characters that got announced that you think I would like? Don't say who. And he's like, oh yes, there is. I'm like, oh, alright. And so I keep walking, like, maybe it's like Terami or something. That'd be pretty neat, I guess. Double Hazama. That's kind of cool. I'm just kind of thinking about it, mulling it over. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's this character. And then I get in, I sit down, and they start playing the trailer.
Did Adachi ever cross your mind before then?
Wait, what?
Did Adachi even cross your mind before then?
I think that maybe once. I'm like, nah, probably not. He's an Ultimax character. I think that's why, because I was like, they're not going to add an Ultimax people for some reason. But I think maybe once it crossed my mind, but I didn't like, that wasn't like, I didn't want to be disappointed, so like, it's probably not. So I sit down, and then they start playing it, and I didn't know how I was reacting, but I'm pretty sure they can tell you that the color from my eyes were just gone whenever Elizabeth and Celica were announced.
Yeah.
I was a soulless husk.
Like, fucking Celica gets announced, is like, oh, yeah, that's nice.
I think you lost hope as soon as Elizabeth showed up, because you just thought, that's the only Persona rep. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, cool, Adachi's done it. Or like, whatever. I'm like, no, okay, whatever. And then it cuts. You see the three villains. He's like, oh, let's get this party started, huh? And then he shows up. The second he shows up, I start like banging my hands on the desk as loud as I can, going, it's fucking Adachi. They put fucking Adachi in.
That was so good to see.
Yeah, it was Garrett pretty much just doing his best gorilla impression for the next like 15 minutes.
Listen, man, Adachi's the savior of Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Yeah.
Dude, you play some net play on that game and tell me that again.
Yeah, I play him. Not well, but I play him. Yeah, no,
That's
guest characters
why
are great.
any of us play this game well.
Yeah, I just love that about guest characters, that rush, that reveal, you know? Of, like, getting this character that you always wanted in something and being like, here it is. Like, Adachi's back, baby. I fucking love Adachi, dude.
The greatest crime that Adachi ever committed was Bezio Dynactus.
I wish I knew about that on the day one tournament.
God, that would be so gross.
Dude, I remembered like how much fucking trouble I was going through just to like be able to lab Liz before the day one before the week one tournament. I was like, all right, guys, come to my apartment, please. I will bribe you with food now. Please lend me PS. Oh my god, that was great though.
But yeah, no, I think we went by everything that I wanted to talk to for the most part. Do you guys have any like questions or discussion things you guys want to talk about, or do you think
is it Mario time?
I think we're good for now. It's getting pretty late.
Okay. Do you have anything?
Nothing in particular. I mean, I never even got to say what like my favorite like fighting game quote or like bark or whatever it was.
What was it?
Go for it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably just anything Dante says in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Go and Flame and like all that stuff from Guilty Gear, and then fucking Makoto in Third Strike and Akatsuki saying Chesto.
Oh, dude, I fucking love Makoto saying like Chesto in Third. I actually recently tried getting back into TF2 and I changed like my kill sounds to Makoto saying Chesto.
Yeah. I guess an additional one would also just be and it's like why I used to like main Akuma a bunch is literally just because of the way that he says stuff like Musosu.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That and this theme was killer.
Yeah. Killing Moon, I think it was called.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
so good, dude. Fun fact, that was actually the song I used for the video of me eating that 2 so just Killing Moon in the background and just me like time lapse eating a huge ass burger and then falling over and dying.
The burger hits you with the 1,000 deaths.
Yeah.
Die 1,000 heart failures. Yeah,
I'm coming back for that burger.
Gotta get that. We gotta get the rematch, man. Gotta get the run back.
Yeah, this time I won't have Corey heckling me from the side of the table the entire time.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Unironically, like another one of the reasons why I started like learning Japanese is because I want to learn a bunch of like random win codes and stuff. Because like one of the biggest ones is Akatsuki has like this one intro that I really love in Under Night specifically. I can never recall like what it is he says exactly, but I only know one of the bits he says something like Zen Morihash and like always sticks with me. So I want to be able to say like long-winded shit like that with like the gusto that he sort of has.
Yeah. You should like learn chaos win quotes so you can like stand up out of your chair after a set, push up your glasses, and just like say something snooty in Japanese.
Yeah.
You can do that after the glue battle, easy. Okay, yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool to do that and just to learn those dope-ass little intros, because there's no subtitles for those intros either. In that game. That game and Blaze Blue CF, I think, are the two games that do not have subtitles for their intros, and it's really frustrating. Especially with Central Fiction, since characters have, like, 30-second intros of one another.
Mm. Yeah, I noticed that.
Because, like, you're watching Ragna Jin, guess what? You don't know what they're going to say. Granted, you hear, Nissan! So you know that. That's it.
Brother,
let's kill each other!
Good old English voices.
And you stand Jin.
I do. Fuck you, man. I like Jin.
What about it?
You're saying it's wrong to stand Jin?
Man.
It's kind of annoying sometimes.
Yeah, but I love him.
Dude, that's a man that's horny for his own brother.
I mean, I don't like that part, but... What?
Trying to imply here.
What are you guys trying to imply here?
What I'm wondering.
So I'm not into it. He's like, I don't know about that, Chief.
Yeah, no. The only Jin main that's free of sin is Fenrir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that Fenrir is sick, and I love watching his Jin. God, I so fucking love that Jin v Beta Dude fight. It's so fucking good. From CEO, like last year, I think. That is fucking phenomenal. I love that set. But anyway, I think that about does it. So thank you for listening to a slightly longer episode of Here Comes a New Challenger. We got just a lot of just chatting around, because that's kind of what I wanted to do, just have a very like lax episode. After this one, I think we're going to be going back to the structure of a game or a topic. I might set up a poll between a few games. I know I want to cover Under Night and Under Night podcast at some point, a Blaze Blue one, a Guilty Gear one, a Skullgirls one, an indie game one in general for the ones that we can't cover, an SNK one. There's a lot that I want to cover, and hopefully you'll be able to do those. But for that in mind, this has been Paul.
Hello. Yeah. Or goodbye, I guess.
Yeah. Close enough.
Zach. Saying hi. We're about to end, dude. You got to sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say something cool.
Okay, let's do a do-over so we can say something cool. This has been Paul.
Catch you next time.
Hell yeah.
No worries.
Zach.
Yes, I'm here as well.
Now he knows why he's here. James.
Yo.
Probius Troy Blazeblue III, Esquire, or Troy?
That was first.
Don't worry about it. And then Blackjack.
Bayonara?
Close enough.
No.
That was a good one.
And I am Garrett, your gracious Punch Game host. And we'll see you next time. Just make sure to...
Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world over you. My time is my word. Your words will never let me smell of the